Hello, 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 good evening, morning, noon, or night, guys, and welcome to the r/AmItheAsshole stream. Hi Nova, hi Kale, hi Lavinia, how are you guys? I hope you're all doing wonderfully. Hello Dread, welcome, welcome. Alright, everything should be set up correctly. Yes, hi! Hi guys, hi Samurai! How are you guys going? I hope you're all going good. Oh my god, Nova, you had like the first chip. Oh my god, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Honestly, like my day today was very weird. Like I don't. It was a strange amount of like times we had to play detective for like parcels that just went walking, but like not in a normal way. Like they were hiding like Easter eggs, I swear. Oh, thank you for the love, dear Dread. I appreciate me, and you're very sweet. And I'm really glad that my art helps inspire you to draw more as well. That's really heartwarming. Thank you, darling. Mwah. You're wonderful. I appreciate you. Ooh, what are you nomming, dear Kale? Yeah, literally. Basically, Nova, what happened is I came in, and of course it was one of the big boss's parcels as well. Not like the big boss, but like a boss. And of course we were like, nuh-uh, like I don't know what you're talking about. It was an Amazon parcel, and you know how Amazon are very double-edged. So, thank you for the rose, darling. I appreciate it. It tastes like chicken. I'm sorry. Thank you, I appreciate it. Oh my god. And so, you know how Amazon just kind of shove your parcel wherever, take a photo and leave? So, me and my coworker, we were just like generally theorizing, where could this parcel be? I didn't get it, and you didn't get it, but they said that we got it. What's happening? And as we were talking, we were kind of like discussing, oh yeah, basically, I think it wasn't a huge thing. It wasn't like crazy important, but it was like not unimportant. I can't remember what exactly was in it. It was like cables or something. It was like something like mild to medium. And like, ooh, that sounds really tasty, Kale. And as we're talking, and we're kind of just like going back and over how like Amazon just has a habit of like dumping stuff wherever and moving on, my coworker mentioned that the photo they sent as proof of dropping it off was of the hand sanitizer stand. That's in the middle of the room. Not on our side of the room. It's just in the middle of the room. And we're like, why the hell would they take a photo of the hand sanitizer stand? We're like, what? That's a weird thing to take a photo of? Huh? And like, we're just there confused. And as we're talking, my coworker, like, so on the other side of the room, and the room's like 15 meters. Well, it's a big foyer, basically. We're in the foyer. And it's like on the other side of the foyer, is like there's a couple of like little display cases with like old books and stuff in them. And as we're talking, my coworker's like, oh, is there something different about that display case over there? And like me, being blind as a bat, I look over and I'm like, oh no, I think that's just a reflection from the sign. And she's like, oh, okay. And I don't know if a cloud covered it or a person walked in front. I don't know what, but like something like walked in front, and it's like I just took off my glasses for a moment, and I kind of squinted and put them back on. I was like, hold on, no, there's a brown thing on top of that actually. And my coworker's like, I will laugh if that's the package. So I go over and yeah, the package was hiding on top of the display case the entire fucking time. Hello, Ghosty, how are you, dear? I hope you've been doing wonderfully. Ooh, I hope work has been treating you well as well. And yeah, so like the parcel was resolved, and like, yes, this is so small potatoes. This is such like corporate drama, like, oh my god, like you wouldn't even get that on a soap. But like, yeah, I swear, like I felt like I was playing some Where's Wally at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. I didn't have brain cells at 9:30 a.m. in the morning. Like, I don't know about you guys, but before midday, my mind mostly consists of the sound of my earrings clacking in the wind, which is this nice kind of sound when I shake my head. That is like my brain. Hopefully you guys heard that, by the way. Oh, second year, let's go. Oh, I'm happy for you. You're no longer a noob. You are now watching the noobs come into your university and watching them from your senior perch. How long's your course, if you don't mind me asking? Are you in like one of those like 3-4 year ones, or are you in one of those like long ones? The ones where you're like, I'm going to be in university for 94 years, but on my 95th year, I'm gonna get a really fucking nice job. 3 years! Hell yes, that means you're nearly halfway there. Oh, that's brilliant! Honestly, once the introduction to classes go along, things will get more interesting, I'm sure of it. And the homework will get thicker. But yes, so...
Hello there. Hello there.
Hi, Rita! Oh my god. Oh my god, Az. I hate that that's kind of relatable. Looks at all of my monitors so that I can have different things running at the same time. Oh my god. But yeah, honestly, Az, good luck. Just good luck. Hi Tika, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Ooh, what are you drawing? I do hope you're having a wonderful time drawing what you're drawing. Oh my god. Doing everything in one good choice. See, you get me, you get me. It's like, I swear, like my brain is like, you know those song mashups where you know those mashups where it's like they've got different songs playing in different ears, but they still somehow like hit the same beat, so you're just there like I'm listening to 2 songs at once and this is bangers. That's like my life. Oh my god. But yes, without further ado, welcome to the r/AmItheAsshole stream, where we sip tea and ingest some hot goss. Also, it's a nice thing to do on a Monday. But yes, so let us begin the first tale. Am I the asshole for refusing to cover my scar and wearing a bikini as it triggered my friend? No, but I will read ahead anyway. I, 24 female, had a cancer scare a few years back and had a biopsy done on my upper leg. The scar's faded now, but it's still fairly noticeable and is about 7 centimeters long. Thankfully, it was only a scare and nothing came of it. For a while, I was insecure about it and stopped wearing skirts or tight leggings where you can see the outline of the scar. But now that I've accepted it is going to be there, I've started to wear whatever and realized nobody cares about it, apart from the odd question. Lasty, hello, darling, how are you? Hello, Raiders of Lasty. Dearest Ghosty, dearest Az, I'm suddenly having a large suspicion of whom the second stream you mentioned was. I see you. I see you. I mean, Lasty is a gem, so I don't blame you, but I see you. I see you in the same way that Lloyd sees money. Anyway, how was your stream? I hope it went wonderfully. Hello, hi, hi Ren, hi guys. I appreciate you popping by to say hello, I appreciate it, and I hope you have the sweetest of dreams. Hello Nyan, how are you? Welcome. What can I say? Y'all have yeed your last whore. But yes, so, we are in the middle of our first tale, to give a quick recap of what we've hit before before you guys have joined us. Essentially what has happened is OP has oh, Pacific Drive, that sounds really fun. It goes well, thank you for asking, and I appreciate it. You've oohed your last woo. I want to see that in a fighting game one day. I do hope you had a lot of fun with Pacific Drive, though. Hell yes. And I am well. Thank you for the sentiments. I appreciate it. But yeah, so recap. Essentially, OP has recently had OP had a cancer scare a few years ago, which resulted in them getting a biopsy scar. Didn't actually have cancer, so it was fine, but they were insecure about the scar for a long time. And essentially, the title of this one is "Am I the Asshole for refusing to cover my scar and wearing a bikini as it triggered my friend?" But yes, so that was all we'd gotten up to before you guys joined us for our hot goss. Get your teas, get your blankies, and get your sweet, sweet nibblies just like you. Because it's getting spicy in here. We went to the beach yesterday as a friend group, and I wore a bikini. I was excited to get a tan, and my friend Anna brought her other friend, Dana, 25 female. I've met her before, but I don't know her very well. However, I do know she started a fundraiser for her mum, who is fighting cancer right now. Dana's family situation is quite difficult, as her dad passed away recently, and her mum has stage 4, and Dana is juggling a lot. I came earlier than Anna and Dana, so I wasn't ready in my bikini when they joined us. And Dana was so nice to me and asked about my new job. Then Anna went to say hi to the others, and Dana mentioned my scar and recognized it was a biopsy. She asked if I could wear a beach cover-up, and it was triggering to her and insensitive of me, as I know her mum is going through it right now. I said, "No, I'm here to get a tan, and the cover-up will ruin that." And Dana didn't say anything, but didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. And then Anna texted me telling me Dana told her what happened, and while she agrees Dana's comment was weird, I should have given her a free pass, as she's not in the best place mentally at the moment. I said it was really weird, and no, I wouldn't. I genuinely don't think I'm in the wrong, and think she's being really weird about the situation. Obviously, if I am in the wrong, I will apologize, however. Am I the asshole? Hello, Nara, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, not the asshole. Absolutely not the asshole. Like, I'm sorry, like, oh, it's not the kiddies. It's some motherfucker on the highway going full burr. Oh my god. Now that bike, that was a bike that's eat its last whore. But yeah, complete not the asshole, 1000%. Oh my god. It's like, of course it's tragic that she's going through what she's going through, but like, no one has the right to tell someone to cover up their scars because it triggers them if it's got nothing to do with them.
Hello there. Hello there.
That's mean. Hi, Sorrow. It's lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome. It's going well, Nara. Thank you for asking. How are you? I hope you're doing wonderfully. Honestly, Nova, you're not wrong. Right now, Comet is asleep in the tower, and Aster is probably in a box somewhere. Aster is not in eyesight. I have fear. Oh my god. Legit. Yeah, exactly, Samurai. Like, I've got like a tiny little nick on my eyebrow. I've got a bunch of little scars on my body from existing. Like, I can't cover that shit up. Like, I'm sorry. Does the juicy spot on my leg make you upset because I fell on a stick when I was 12 because I tried to climb down a waterfall? You know what? Actually, no. If idiots do trigger you, that will probably do it. I would come up with a defense for that, but
but that's indefensible. I hopped a fence and tried to climb down a waterfall, slipped, fell on a stick, and it paid me back.
Yeah, no, I deserve that 1000%. There's no realm I didn't deserve that. That was karma. That was karma. So now I have a little scar on a little mushy spot on my leg because it was a really fat stick and it went in like a lot. But I still climbed back up and walked home anyway, so... Because in Australia, what happens when things go wrong? You say, she'll be right. Oh my god. Honestly, I think scars are cool. I think scars are cool. No, don't judge me, Ghosty. Look, I climbed down a waterfall by being in the vicinity of a waterfall. And my 12-year-old brain went, me want to climb. And my friend was like, that's kind of dumb, bro. And then I climbed. My friend was right. Yeah, scars are great. Honestly, one thing that like I love about like the aesthetics of scars, because like they're proof that you've existed, you know, like each scar tells a story. And in most people, they're stories of like bravery, heroism, like or stories of like, you know, like innocent stories, but like all of my scars are stupid. Like all of my scars are just stupid. Like all of my scars are just proof that I'm a ditz. I have a scar on my thumb because I butterfingers the dishes once. I have burns on my fingers because I butterfingered the cooking once. I have a scar on my eyebrow because my face didn't want to have an eyebrow piercing. Yeah, all my scars are stupid. They're just silly stories behind like all of them. Oh yeah, if you think about it, it's all like the proof that your that your doggos, well, want to leave a permanent mark on you. That is such a cursed way of pointing it out. Hi Nova, hi Swan Nova, how are you? Welcome, welcome. It's lovely to see you. I hope you're doing wonderfully. Yeah, honestly, like, I don't think I have any scars from like the cat specifically. Oh, I do have a scar on my wrist from when I got itchy once. I scratched too much. That's why I have a, yeah. All of my scars are stupid. Anyway. I was itchy, okay. Don't judge me. Hell yes, Nova, let's go. You're free. Oh my god, yes. You gotta have the last word. Have the most like celebratory escape. Put me in a double rap boss. Oh my god. Oh no, it attacked back. Oh no, Samurai. It's okay. You're amongst Butterfingers here. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alrighty. Now, this next story, or next post, I should perhaps better say. Huh? Oh my god, Ghosty, you've got like, your skin is a self-healing mat. You have the skin of a self-healing mat. Quite firm, if I do say so myself. I'm sorry. I guess you could say, if you have the skin of a self-healing mat, you really matter. Anyway, this next post is called... Lloyd face Riz. Anyway, am I the asshole for telling my daughter she has to understand that choosing this wedding date would result in my family not going? No. Mwah. Oh my god, oh my god. I don't know. And that's because it's you, Rita. It's been you all along. Hi, Xylia. How are you, darling? Welcome, welcome. Alrighty. We're just about to commence our next gossip tale. 2-ish years ago, my brother, nephew, and my mother were in a car accident. My mother passed instantly. My brother and nephew passed the next day. My family was small. Me, my husband, daughter, parents, brother, wife, and 2 nephews. Their loss was devastating for my life and for everyone, even worse for my father and sister-in-law. 1 year ago, my daughter, Betty, 25 female, was proposed by her fiancé and preparations began. During this process, they chose the date based on the day they met, 7 years ago. And that day is exactly 2 years since the death of my brother and nephew. I tried to talk her about moving because it's still a very difficult date for our family and even for myself, but she insisted, saying the venue had that date available and it would be perfect because all other available dates aren't so good and wouldn't be so important. I respected her decision. Recently, she sent the invitations to everyone, and as predicted, my sister-in-law, my nephew, and my father responded that they would not attend, and despite not telling her, my father and sister-in-law told me the date choice was kind of an offense to them. I decided to remain neutral at some point. I confirmed my presence and my husband. Today, my daughter called me unhappy that no one but us confirmed. My husband doesn't have family on his side, and her family part was empty, and she expected everyone to go that date. But even more so after she explained the reason to them about the date, but they still refused. I tried to be supportive, but I said, "Love, this date is difficult even for me, but I will go to your wedding. But you have to understand that this choice of date had this consequence, and you would have to deal with the consequences of your choices." She exploded at me, saying that everyone was against her. It's not her fault the dates coincided, and everyone could make an effort to go a few hours for her, but they decided to just not go, and I was basically saying, "I told you so." She hung up without me answering, and we still haven't spoken. My husband said he understands me, but I think I should have stayed away from it all. Am I the asshole? No! Like, yes, it is a horrible coincidence, especially since the day they met was exactly 7 years ago, so 5 years prior to the accident. But like, it's understandable that's a special day to them, of course it is, but I completely agree with the poster on this one. And I completely agree with the way she approached it as well. It's this daughter in this one being very unreasonable. Because, yeah, like, it's a massive incident. Like, it's very, very, very not the arsehole. And the daughter also needed to hear it. That, like, the daughter knew this date was a date that pretty much everyone on the mum's side was not going to be down for, but she chose it anyway for selfish reasons. And it's not a surprise that no one else was willing to show up. Honestly, yeah, Haya, you got a good point. That's like, that's the daughter's grandmother. Why the hell wasn't she upset? Like, dude, that's like the day your grandma died. You should also be affected? That is a really good point. What the fuck? Man, like, entitled much? Jesus Christ. Oh my god, absolutely not the asshole, 1000%. Yeah, you're not wrong on that one, I'd say. Alright. Yeah, literally saw, literally, like, bruh? Like, pick a different day. There's 365 at minimum in a year. 366 if it's a leap year. Just pick a different day. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Alright. This next one is called, Am I the Asshole for yelling at my wife for firing our babysitter and making her cry because she called an ambulance? Huh? Hello Reddit. I've just downloaded Reddit because my niece said I should post this story to Am I the Arsehole board. So here I am. I'm not very good with technology, so forgive me, but I'll probably be messing this whole post up. Ah, boomer. So basically, here's what happened. Me and my wife hired our babysitter, who we've been going to for years. We have 2 sons and a daughter, and we've been hiring her since my oldest son was a baby. That was mostly her mum looking after the baby while she was helping, so we gave her a couple of dollars for that. She's now 16 and can look after the kids all on her own, and my oldest 2 love her. My youngest is only 7 months, so I'm not sure he really gets it yet, but he seemed relatively happy when he's with her. This Friday, my kids' daycare has been closed for renovations, and Daisy, our babysitter, has kindly offered to take care of them after school, from 3:30 to 6. I get home from work at 6, and my wife gets home at 6:30. However, I got home early from work at 5:30, and when I got home, I found my wife yelling at Daisy while Daisy was just sobbing and apologized. I asked my wife what was going on, and all she did was just start yelling that Daisy had cost us a bunch of money. My first thought was that she'd broken something, but my wife wasn't telling me what it was. She told Daisy she wouldn't be paying her for her time and to get the fuck out of our house and never come back, or she'd call the police. Daisy then ran out crying, and I let my wife to calm down while I comforted my kids. They were all crying in a different room while my wife yelled at Daisy. While everything had calmed down, I got the full story from my wife. So here's what happened. My wife had been looking after the kids until 3:30 while we were at work. This was Daisy's first time looking after my youngest son, though we knew we could trust her with the baby since she's looked after my daughter alone when she was a baby. Something important that you should know is that my youngest son has breath-holding episodes, which occur when he gets frustrated or is in pain, and he will just hold his breath. To stop them, you just have to blow on the baby, or they'll just snap out of it on their own. They're completely normal and relatively safe in babies. However, the episodes can sometimes cause passing out and blueness, and it's normal, and he usually wakes up within a few seconds. To cut a long story short, my wife forgot to tell Daisy what to do if that happens, and when my son passed out, Daisy panicked and called 911, and then my wife. My wife is now angry that Daisy called 911 for nothing, and has now wasted our money on an ambulance ride. Me and my wife are now arguing because I think Daisy did the right thing, but my wife doesn't. Yes, and yesterday we got into a heated argument. We both said some hurtful stuff, and she now is staying with her mother for a few days while she thinks over my priorities in the relationship. Am I the asshole? No! Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. That poor babysitter. Jesus Christ, his wife sounds like a complete and utter Karen. Holy shit. Like, I understand that ambulances are incredibly expensive. Especially in America. But let's be honest, sneezing is expensive over there. I understand that. But ultimately, the wife was the one who failed to communicate that this was normal to the babysitter on their first time babysitting. That's on her. That's, if you argue, you could even argue that is the consequences of her actions, or lack thereof. The babysitter is 16. She definitely doesn't have her own baby. Clearly, she's new to this. She's a child herself. Oh my god, like... yeah, literally the babysitter did exactly what she was supposed to do. Like, in a fact... in a fantasy realm where I had crotch goblins running around the place, and I left them to a babysitter, but I failed to mention that maybe that child had epileptic fits and it was normal, or they had these episodes. I was away, and then I came back to find that the child had been sent to the hospital briefly, or 911 had been called, because the child had an episode and the babysitter panicked, didn't know what to do with it, so decided to call the authorities. I would definitely at least have a part of me going like, oof, on the wallet. But I would still appreciate that the babysitter did it. Because it shows the babysitter cares about the fucking kids. Come on. Hi, Shira. How are you? Welcome, welcome. This story featured a Karen. But like here is like this wife is far more concerned about her wallet than the safety of her child. Because just because this baby has a habit of holding its breath to the point it passes out and goes blue sometimes, does not mean that every time this baby passes out and turns blue, it's doing a breath hold. It's 100% boy calls wolf. Like, there is no guarantee that it's always going to just be baby being a stubborn shit. One day, baby could have something stuck in his throat. Like, you don't know. Because babies are like, you could breathe on them and they'll pass. I swear to God, they are so fragile. Bless their mushy little hearts. But like, you've got to be very careful with a baby. And the fact that this mom is far more concerned about her wallet than her kid is... I've got the ick. Oh, I've got the ick. Absolutely not the arsehole, and I feel kind of bad for Poster being married to that, honestly. That's... Oof. I'm glad you're feeling a bit better. Though make sure to take care of yourself, feel nice and comfy. I don't want you nerfing yourself. Exactly, Tika. Honestly, some people, am I right? Oh, you're at work at the moment, eh? Penis. You're welcome. Anyway, this next story is got... Yeah, I know, right? It's so rude. No! Damn it! One day. Oh my God. You may have won the battle, but I'll win the war. Stop typing in sentence. Oh my God. Alrighty. This next story is called Am I the Arsehole for telling my daughter if she pays for her sister's college, then I will stop quote unquote favoring her with my money? I will try to make this as clear as possible. My mother had a fund that was supposed to be for both of the grandchildren. She told me multiple times it was for both of the kids. She also informed the girls that they have money. She passed away unexpectedly. My oldest, Shelley, was the only one on the fund, and it is legally hers. She didn't share it with her sister, and she had a huge head start in her life with it because of it. Due to this money, she's been able to go to college debt-free and is going to buy a house soon. My husband and I have been scrambling to give as much money as possible to Grace since she really got screwed over. Even with all of our help, she still needs to take out student loans. Grace is working while in college, and she found a student job that gives her free housing. The issue is that she needs a car for it. So my husband and I are gonna buy her a car, because turning down this job will result in a ton of extra debt for her. Shelley found out about us getting the car, and is pissed. She's upset with us favoring Grace, and that she never got a car from us. I pointed out she doesn't need help financially at all. We argued for a while, and I had enough.
I told her that if she pays for her sister's college, then I'll stop favoring her sister with my money. She called me a jerk and isn't responding. Edit. According to my mother's partner, she had the money together in order to build it up more and was going to split it with when my oldest went to college. But she died before that. They are, by the way, full sisters with the same parents. That older sister is a bitch. Like, I don't generally use that word with, like, seriousness. But Jesus fucking Christ. That older sister's lucky she didn't get excommunicated for pulling that shit. That is some of the scummiest stuff you can do. That is like you're not only spitting on your grandma's grave, you are royally fucking over your sibling's life so that you can live the high life. And then you have the fucking audacity to turn around and get mad at the parents for doing everything they can to possibly even slightly even the playing field because they're not doing the same for Madam Moneybags. Like, fuck off. Like, you were told to split that evenly and you didn't give her a cent because you're a greedy cow. I'm sorry, moo on in a different pasture because you're not welcome here. Absolutely not the arsehole. 10 out of 10, fuck off. Honestly, yeah, same to one another. Honestly, yeah, like, I would totally, like, I would at the very most be cordial. Like, all trust, all respect, poofed into the abyss with something like that. Yeah, like, I'm sorry, you stole all your sister's money, so she has to get student debts while you're buying a house. Get fucked and buy your own shit. Oh my god, like, yeah, literally, so selfish. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah. Exactly, Samurai, and that's very sweet of your parents to do that as well. Like, that's the nice way of doing it. Like, money's always a family issue, yeah, but, like, respect the will. Or at least respect the intention. At least respect the intention. Even if there's no legal will in place. If it has been clearly, when I die, I want my money evenly split between you and you. Doesn't matter if a lawyer's been involved. You are a steaming pile of horse shit if you don't respect that. Like, tragedy aside, bitch, you are getting free money anyway. You can be respectful at the same time. Like, I think the worst part on that one, Ghosty, is I think, like, she passed before she had the chance to lock it in. So it's like, it's one of those technically legal, but also really shitty behaviors kind of deal. Just absolutely disgusting behavior. Like, wow. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, Jesus Christ. And looking, oh my god, actually, no, looking at one of the comments, alright, so here's the top comment and the top response, which adds some serious context to it too. Not the arsehole. Your older daughter was very selfish to not split the money knowing it was what her grandmother wanted. It's one thing to keep an inheritance your family member fully intended to be just for you without sharing, but this feels very wrong. I think that, at least until you've given half that amount to your youngest daughter, it's entirely fair. I would be pretty disappointed in her and it would be hard to forgive, to be honest. I can't imagine this isn't going to destroy a lot of relationship in the family. This is OP's comment, which really adds context. We will never be able to give Grace half the amount, because it would be around $200,000 to $230,000. It won't happen. Maybe when we die, but we probably have 40 years left for us, since we had our kids young. She stole $500,000! Jesus fucking Christ. Fucking hell, that is oh my god.
That is disgusting. That is disgusting, that is. Like, in the realm of hypothetical, because I do get along pretty fine with my sister, in the realm of hypothetical, if I had a family member who was secretly rich pass and give me $500,000 fucking dollars with the stipulation that half of it went to my sister, I wouldn't care if I hated my sister's guts. I wouldn't care if we had the worst relationship possible. I'd still give her half of it, because I'd still be getting $250,000. What the fuck? Jesus Christ. That is actually disgusting. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. I am genuinely shocked people stayed in contact with her after that. Actually shocked people stayed in contact with her after that. Jesus Christ, oh my god. That is disgusting. To fuck over a close family member for $250,000. Oh my Jesus Christ. Jesus. Nah, just nah. That is nah. Oh my god. Yeah, like. Oh, I hope she burns in her new house. Jesus fucking Christ. That is. Yeah, and has the audacity to ask for a car. Like, that is. Wow. That is. Oh. This Reddit. This subreddit comes up with some real characters in the arsehole category. But right now, she's the worst. Oh my god. At least in the greed category, the worst one I have seen, hands down. Jesus. Oh my god. I hope when she gets married, her family side of the pews are fucking empty. Jesus Christ. Whew. I love people, but some of them are really, really, really shit. Oh my god. Yeah, yes, one over. Yeah. Thank you for the head pats. Legit less, yeah. Wow. Oh, that context. Jesus Christ. Like it was bad without the context, but with the context. Oh my god. It's like the difference between told she murdered someone versus she murdered them by torturing them for 12 hours. One is worse than the other. They're both horrific, but one is worse than the other. Alrighty. Let's move on. Honestly, yeah. Calling an animal would be an absolute disgrace of animals. Ugh. Karens would be disappointed in that behavior. Am I the asshole for saying I'll take on more responsibility so my parents can foster / adopt my special needs cousin, but only until I'm 18 and then I'll be done? Thank you for the hydrate, I appreciate it. For real, Ghosty, 1000%. Imagine gold digging your dead grandma. Oh, nah, it's all nasty. Jesus Christ. Yeah, and still wanting more. Like, I'm sorry, you couldn't manage the money you stole. Get fucked. Alright. My parents have 4 kids. I'm 16 male, the oldest, and next is my brother Harry, 13, then my sister Jazz, 11, and then my younger sister Amy, 8. Harry and Jazz have autism. Neither can talk clearly, but mumbling is the best they've learned, and they were delayed developmentally, so walking came later for them as well. Harry and Jazz are in special needs school, a private one, because my parents wanted the best chance for them, and this place was highly recommended. Both my parents work longer hours for this, and because of the longer hours they work and the aftercare they're paying for Harry and Jazz, it has meant I needed to take on some more responsibility, and especially with Amy. I take care of her every day after school until her parents come home. That includes cooking and deep cleaning the kitchen after I finish making food for us so my parents can cook for Jazz and Harry and not risk any issues with the food because both have highly sensitive taste buds and they have limited diets. When Harry and Jazz go for respite or all-day therapies, my parents make time for Amy and just Amy. They don't want her to feel left behind or like she doesn't matter. I don't get the same attention. I never did, even when I was younger and things were bad. Amy was always the kid they prioritized time with when they had it, and I had expectations put on me that I would do my best to give her a great childhood. They put a lot of that responsibility for that on my shoulders by the time I was just 11. I'm also more responsible for keeping the house clean because my parents' working hours. Sometimes I'm the only one who cleans in a week, and I used to try and get Amy to help out with some light stuff, and my parents told me to let her enjoy her childhood. Recently, my uncle and aunt died, and my cousin, who also has autism, ended up in foster care. My parents wanted to take him, but they told me that they would need me to step up and do more for us to make it work. They even told me how bad my cousin has it in foster care right now. Dad told me that he has not found stability since his parents died several weeks ago. So what do they want? Me to take over all of the cooking, for me to do the grocery shopping. But not with Amy, of course. And they want me to start adjusting to having 3 kids, 2 with special needs at times, so they can take 1 kid at a time to their therapies and appointments. It pissed me off because they've also asked me to babysit all 3 special needs kids so that they can make a bit more time for Amy, because it'll be hardest on her. I was pissed off, so I said, sure, I'll do it, but only until I'm 18, and then I'll be done and they will never see me again. My parents told me my anger was unwarranted and everyone has to make sacrifices when a family is dealing with this many special needs kids. Am I the asshole? He's 16. Regardless of circumstance, parents need to recognize that their oldest child is still a child. There are many parents out there, especially those with difficult kids or their own difficulties, who start to see and treat their eldest child less like their child and more like a second or third parent or a housekeeper. And this will always cause a major fraction in adulthood. Always. It never goes well, especially the more kids there are or the more skewed the treatment. And yeah, like on a surface level, experienced something similar growing up myself. And granted, my situation was very different, don't worry. But it was essentially the same thing. I was treated kind of like a second parent in the household. And my younger sister was actually the one treated like the kid. And there were times where I wished I'd get parented, even if it meant being told off. And yeah, and it's just neglect is kind of like your silent relationship killer. Everything else is in your face, but neglect is probably the hardest to wipe away, especially in developmental years. And ultimately, these parents are so focused on all of their other kids, they've forgotten the first one. And even though you can absolutely look at this and go, oh, he's just being a teenager, he doesn't mean it. Sure, when he hits 18, it's very likely he's not going to cut his parents off. It's very likely he's going to stay in contact with them. But it's also very likely they're never going to get much more than cordial. And they're going to wonder in 10, 20 years' time why their oldest son treats them like a colleague more than a parent. And this is why, because growing up, you treated him like a subordinate and not a child. These things are always tragic to read, they are, just because you kind of know how the story's going to end, to use the metaphor. And it never ends well. Like, very few of us here are parents, but those of us who are or are considering it, never forget your oldest child. Because they're going to be the ones who grow up first, and ultimately the ones who leave first. And generally, they're the easiest ones to forget are there. Oh yeah, of course. And yeah, and it's kind of like, it's sad how many of us eldest children have a similar experience growing up. It's very common where the oldest child is treated like an extra helping hand, like an extra adult, and the youngest child is treated like a baby forever, which is its own set of issues. Because, of course, on the youngest child spectrum, they tend to be more immature in the long run, because they aren't given the freedom to actually gain that independence. Whereas the oldest child is kind of like let loose as soon as possible. And both carry their own issues. But yeah, like ultimately this one, absolutely not the arsehole. Absolutely not the arsehole. But also kind of heartbreaking. Because those parents, they're not going to realize they fucked up until it is far too late. And at that point, well, that's it, isn't it? It's nothing they'll be able to do. Because the opposite of love is hate. But the opposite of hate is apathy. And if your kid has reached apathy, you've lost. Because they don't care enough to be bothered to deal with your shit anymore. They don't care anymore. They've gotten past it. They've moved on. They've gotten on with their lives. They've found their new family. They've got their found family. They're happy where they're at, and they just don't have the energy for your shit anymore. And if they hit the point of apathy, you will never get them back. Because the passion, it's not like passionate hate where you can sway them the other way around. It's the end of the line. Apathy's it. They moved on. And that's what always happens in the end. And those of us, no matter where we are on this spectrum of the neglected eldest child, unless it's addressed, we all eventually will hit apathy. And then, yeah. The best we can really see our parents as is more akin to the same vibes as an aunt and uncle. You love your aunt and uncle, of course you do. They're brilliant. You love visiting them occasionally. You get on with them a bit. But, in general circumstance, because obviously there are exceptions, but generally, you're not going to go to your aunt and uncle when you have issues. You're not going to tell them your secrets. You're not going to announce things to them first. Your aunt and uncle are part of your extended family. So when you're ready to share something with the extended family, they're included. But the family? Nah. Generally, no. Yeah. Pretty much goes to, yeah, literally. Yeah, I tolerate you, but I won't go out of my way anymore. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And it's like the anymore, that's the apathy. It's that whole case of like, if someone's yelling and screaming and crying, please look at me, they still care. But if someone just looks you dead in the eye with a calm expression and goes, I know you don't care about me, that's fine. You've lost. You have lost. And that's it. You can, at that point, you can do everything you can to fix it, and maybe the spark will be lit again at some point. But you have a hell of a hill to climb if they've reached apathy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a brick wall. Like, it's... at the risk of, breaking the mold? Not really. I have a similar relationship to both of my parents. I love them to bits. Of course I do. They were my parents. But I feel the same way towards my parents as I feel towards my uncle and aunt. They don't really feel like my parents. You know, I'll visit them occasionally, and it's nice to catch up. Always love to hear what they're doing every now and again, but we maybe talk once every couple of months. And at that, it's usually a cordial conversation of, oh, how's life? Oh, it's good. And, you know, I'll visit them every now and again, but that's really it. And I think that's how it's always going to be. Because I'm already in the apathy stage, I'm afraid. Shit happened, that's in the past, and I respect who they are now, and I get along with them as they are now, but ultimately, it is what it is. Yeah. 𝐶𝐶𝐫, that is fully respectable. I fully stand by the statement. Regardless of who you are, you do not have to love your parents. Some will see that as a controversial statement like hashtag spicy tea, or oh, I'm playing the field. You don't have to love your parents. You can fall out of familial love with your parents. You can. And generally it's for a reason. Exactly, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Found family is so great for a reason. We find amazing friends, we find amazing partners. In some cases, maybe even find new parents. And we build communities around ourselves that we are happy with, people we love, we care about, and ultimately, when something amazing happens in your life, when something terrible happens in your life, you run to your found family. You run to the people who've had your back when no one else did. Them's your fucking people. And they the people who deserve all the love and respect. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, Ghosty, for real. Mm. Yeah, I feel that. Oh my god. Raises glass in the air. I say, reloading my Beppus. Because that was a story that requires a sip. Oh my god. Kitties! Here. Now, without further ado, honestly, I can't blame you. Regardless, always know, everyone here, every single person here, regardless of your biological family situation, you have people who love you. You have people who care about you, who will be genuinely upset to lose contact, who are excited to hear from you just because it's you. People care because you're awesome. And I stand by that. You're not alone. Even if you think you are. You're not. And worst case, you come at me with every argument in the book to prove you are. Well, I can give you an argument you can't disprove. I care about you, so fuck you, you can't tell me how I feel. Ha ha! Get cared about, bitch! Oh, that is so cute, Shara. I love that. Sock on my affection. Anyway, You're welcome. That's the way we like it. Hair flip. Wholesome toxicity. I'm sorry. I'm being a kid. $20 is $20. Oh my god. Alrighty. Now, on to the next tale. Am I the arsehole for refusing to pay for cake slices that my teenage daughter ate? I, female 38, am a single mum with my teenage daughter, Carly, 17. My sister, female 36, lives nearby with her husband and 2 kids, 9 and 7. Carly sometimes babysits her cousins on the weekend so that my sister and brother-in-law can go out, usually for 3 to 4 hours. In exchange, my sister gives her £30 to £40 cash in hand. Oh, that's nice money. Me and my sister do not make Carly babysit. She volunteers to. She likes having the extra money to fund her Starbucks addiction without a part-time job in fast food or retail, plus the kids love getting to see her. I'm glad that she's getting to learn responsibility. I think it's a win all around. That is a waste of money. You get the equivalent of 80 Australian bucks a week and you spend it on Starbucks. That's 8 coffees. Sorry. Last weekend there was a problem. A couple hours after Carly came home from babysitting, my sister calls me. It was my niece's birthday 2-ish weeks ago, and there was some leftover birthday cake in the kitchen. It was a custom-made, fancy lemon curd cake, and I remember at the party a lot of the kids didn't want to eat it, so a lot was left over. While she was babysitting, Carly had eaten 2 slices. My sister said she should have asked before helping herself to the cake, and that it was expensive. I apologized to my sister and told her I'd have a word with my daughter. She mentions again that this cake was custom-made and expensive, and says that we should be compensating her. At first I honestly thought she couldn't be serious, but she wanted me to give her money because of the cake. I mentioned that surely the cake is going bad soon if it isn't already stale. I said this lightheartedly to lighten the mood, but made it clear I'm not giving her money. She says she paid £70 for the cake, and she expects me to give her £20. I told her I'm not doing that. My sister says I'm being inconsiderate, and that my daughter ate the slices without permission. I feel like she's being petty, and what difference would have it made if it all got eaten last weekend or at the birthday party? Am I the arsehole for refusing to pay her for the cake? No? Like, to line up the facts. The birthday party has passed. The cake had already been cut and partially eaten. Cakes don't last forever. I agree that she should have asked. But it's not like she stole a cake slice from a bakery display that her parents owned. She saw cake in the fridge that had already been partially eaten and helped herself. Does she deserve to get in trouble? Yes. Does she deserve to get financially charged? No. Because that's a 2-week-old fucking cake. No. I don't know if they were saving it for a display or something, but 2-week-old cake, no matter how much you paid for it, is not worth the money you put down. She should have asked. She should have been told off. Like, she should have been told off for not asking. You know, don't touch other people's stuff. Maybe I could agree to them, like, giving her a bit of a pay cut. Kind of as a, not so much as a compensate me for the cake, but more of a, this is you shouldn't, like, this is a you shouldn't touch other people's belongings without permission. So, you know, you're gonna get, like, a £10 pay cut, to think about your actions or some shit. Like, something small enough that, like, a teenager would have a sook about. But, like, I don't think it's fair. She expects the daughter's parent to pay £20 for 2 slices of a 2-week-old £70 cake. Yeah. Hi, Asta, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Yeah, no, honestly. Yeah, completely understandable. Honestly, I don't touch something without permission. Like, when it comes to food, I'm not going to open your fridge and eat your food. It doesn't matter if I'm starving. I want permission first. Like, always ask permission. It is really shitty. It's really shitty to just help yourself to someone else's food without asking. But, like, that is, like, the kind of misdemeanor that just gets an awkward conversation, a lecture, and maybe a bit of a grounding. Not a bill. Exactly, Samurai, exactly. Honestly, it was stupid of her to get a £70 custom cake for a 2-year-old. Just give the 2-year-old some strawberry donuts. It'll be very happy. Ice cream cake. Kids lose their shit over ice cream cake. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh, here's the top comment, and honestly, I agree with this one. Pay the sister for the 2 slices of her fancy-ass cake, and tell your daughter that she'll not be babysitting her siblings without full and comparable to other sitters' compensation ever again. And tell her why. Your sis had the golden goose of babysitters, and she obviously had no idea how good she had it. Emphasis on had. If she wants to nickel and dime you, let's go. And don't bother to give her a heads up. She can find out your daughter will be charging her, oh, shall we say €20 an hour for every hour? Oh, or whatever the going rate is, or she can scramble to find an alternative. Your daughter could make all kinds of money for her Starbucks addiction working for somebody else. But the bargain sis had ended when she expected you to fork over €20 for stale leftover cake. Not the asshole. Oh, I really, really fucking hope OP does something like that. That would be perfect. That right there. That right there. Yeah. Just smash cake. There we go. Ice cream cake. Like, in Australia, the one cake that every child is given up until they're maybe 15 is specifically a chocolate mud cake from either Coles or Woolworths. And it's a chocolate mud cake with chocolate icing and a white squiggle on top. And if you're in Australia, you know exactly what fucking cake I'm talking about. Because we all had them every fucking year up until we were like an adult. The mud cake is peak and like $10. And that's in today money. Yes! Yes! Alright, Woolies mud cake. Let me, I'll show you guys a picture so you can see the cake. Oh, sorry, correction. No, it's about $7. It's cheap. It's classic. It is the Woolies mud cake. Every kid in Australia got this. This was like, fuck it. You've got a birthday? Brilliant. You're getting the cake. Alright, let me get a screenshot of the cake. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I've got the screenshot, and it's like an aesthetic shot as well. I will save it under the file name of blah 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 blah. Alright, now let me actually bring it in so I can show you guys. Image. Yep, image is fine. Browse. Alright. Blah 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 blah. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. This here. Alright, there we go. That is the Woolies mud cake. So this here, that's the Woolies mud cake right here. It's like $6 to $7, and it's basically a staple of every birthday party ever. There's a caramel version, a white chocolate version, and a chocolate version. And everyone got the chocolate version. And like, it was every birthday party. Oh shit, here comes the fucking mud cake. Like, kids love that shit. It's like, in today money, $7. Don't get a 70-pound fancy cake no one's gonna eat. Know what your kids want. Fucking Woolworths mud cake. You will. Yeah, the other flavors are kind of mid. The mud cake, Woolies mud cake, man. That's good shit. Honestly, one that I really like, but also I avoid because it is deadly, is the Woolies 70 pounds in money. In money. So like 70 pounds to AUD. It's 135 Aussie dollars. So feel free to convert that to your, yeah, that's how expensive that cake was. And of course none of the kids ate it. Yeah, Oh yeah? Oh, I love that. Okay, that's hella wholesome. Just saying, if you ever come to Australia and you don't, I can buy you a better cake. Oh, you can buy me any cake anytime, dear. Hi, Mickey, how are you? I like cake. But like, to an extent. But like, Woolies has this rainbow cake. It is deadly. Oh my god. Like, I won't show it on stream, but I will like post it in Discord. Alright, Woolies rainbow cake. I've had it once, and it was literally like, oh my god, this tastes delicious, and then immediately dies. Alright, where is it? Here's the beastie. Alright. Alright, so I've posted it in the Discord. It is the Woolworths rainbow cake. It is murder. It is death. It is a problem. They are so good and so deadly. Holy shit. Like, oh my god. But like, I will admit, a part of me does want the Cheesecake Shop rainbow cake, which like actually is a gay flag. Like, I'll share an image on that as well. Like, the Cheesecake Shop one, it's more expensive, but like, it actually is gay flag cake. I kind of want to try the gay flag cake at some point, because... Yes. Oh my god, as your Woolies has tiramisu. Oh, I love that. Me as a cake. If you guys get a cake themed on me, can you put a Lloyd face on it? Oh my god, Ghosty, homemade cheesecake. You're speaking my language. Make it strawberry and it's done. Oh my god. But yeah, like, there are some nice cakes out there. There are some nice cakes out there. But yeah, hands down, Woolies rainbow cake. You will die, but you'll die happy. Fuck, now I want cake. Just Cheesecake Shop orders cake. No. Hello, Addy Daddy. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Thank you, darling. And welcome to the Uncanny Valley. It is an absolute pleasure to meet you. We are discussing cake. No, we're reading Am I the Arsehole stories, but we got sidetracked. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh my god. Hi, hi. Yeah, legit, sorry, yeah. It is, like, deadly. Like, the Woolies rainbow cake is deadly. But it's so good, though. It's so good, though. But it's deadly. Alright. This next story is titled, Am I the Arsehole for ruining my brother-in-law's reputation by telling the truth to my friends? My in-laws are currently furious with me for hurting my brother-in-law's feelings and reputation with my friend group. Recently, my single brother-in-law, Chris, 38 male, has been hinting at me to introduce him to women, and I've refused. Chris has been single for almost 3 years, and he's been having a hard time meeting women. He tried flirting with my friend, but she has been cold and non-receptive. This was my friend, Grace, 35 female. Grace is not interested in him due to his inability to be faithful, and she wasn't physically attracted to him. He tried to flirtatiously engage with her during a small party my husband and I had last Saturday. My husband got a long-awaited promotion, so we had a little party. During the party, Grace had grown frustrated with his incessant flirting, and at some point told him, in no uncertain terms, that she found him physically ugly, and that his physical ugliness is only surpassed by the ugliness of his character. She told him this in private, so no other guest had heard her scathing review of his personhood. Woo! Chris left the party. The following afternoon, while my husband and I were nursing a wicking hangover, my in-laws, to my surprise, called to scold me for having abused and embarrassed Chris. After a few moments of us shouting back and forth on the phone, I reminded my husband that handling his family was his job. So while my husband argued with his parents, I reviewed our security cameras. And honey, Grace verbally tore him apart. Grace reminded him that he cheated and divorced his late ex-wife Lily while she was battling cancer, and then he got dumped by the mistress for being a cheater as he continued to cheat on her. Grace told him that he wasn't a man of any significant value other than the few coins he had in the bank, and that there's no way in hell she'd entertain his delusions of sexual grandeur and beauty. She also said the only thing he had going for him was his overbloated job title as an executive director to a third-rate company that will probably collapse in the next 5 years. As a parting gift, she told him to consider some cosmetic work to improve his haggard appearance, and to perhaps start praying for divine intervention to fix his rotten soul, since there's no way a psychotherapist could ever come close to fixing whatever is wrong with him. My in-laws and Chris feel that I shouldn't have told my friends what Chris did, because he's now perceived by my girlfriends as a terrible person. I told them he was unfortunately a terrible person, and people would have always found out what happened between him and the late great Lily. I then discussed what happened with my colleague Natasha. She said I was cruel for having told my friend group about what happened between Chris and his ex-wife, because Chris had grown a lot in the past 2 years, and didn't need to be known for the worst thing he's ever done. Natasha's dating Chris's friend, so she also knows him. FYI, I've only discussed Chris's treatment of Lily with my direct friend group, and that's only 6 people, and half of them already knew, as they're also friends with Lily. So it's not like I'm screaming, hear ye, in the town square. Am I the arsehole? Oh, Grace? Oh my lord! Oh, damn! That roast was fire! Oh, that is amazing. Oh my god. Like, damn. Whew. Oh, that is a roast. That came out like my chicken fingers look like coming out of the oven. Charcoal. Woohoo! Oh, that is spicy. That is spicy. You're gonna need some ice to soothe that burn. Damn. Can I repeat what she said? Absolutely. Alright, so. The first thing she said was she found him physically ugly and that his physical ugliness is only surpassed by the ugliness of his character. And then, further down the story, what she said was, Grace reminded him that he cheated and divorced his late ex-wife Lily while she was battling cancer, and then he got dumped by the mistress for being a cheater as he continued to cheat on her. Grace told him that he wasn't a man of any significant value other than the few coins he had in the bank, and that there's no way in hell she'd entertain his delusions of sexual grandeur and beauty. She also said the only thing he had going for him was his overbloated job title as an executive director to a third-rate company that will probably collapse in the next 5 years. As a parting gift, she told him to consider some cosmetic work to improve his haggard appearance and perhaps to start praying for divine intervention to fix his rotten soul, since there's no way a psychotherapist could ever come close to fixing whatever is wrong with him. That's savage! Oh, that is savage! Oh! Ow! Ow! Oh my god. Thank you for the hydrate, by the way. 10 out of 10. Absolutely not the arsehole. I'm just clapping. That's amazing. But also, like, she wasn't lying, so... yeah. For real, for real. Oh my, she made the bonfire straight up. Like, damn. Oh. Thank you for the care package, Miki. Alright, stretch arms in front, up over the head, and yeah. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. And honestly, it's not wrong of OP to tell other people what he did, because it's the truth. It's not under an NDA, and ultimately, you can argue as well, because he has a habit of flirting with her family and friends. Oh, sorry, friends. He has a habit of going for her friends. It's a good thing she told her friends that, no, he's a cheater, trust me. He did this really gross shit. Because she's protecting her friends from the prune. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly, Mickey. Exactly. Damn, I can't blame you, Ari, honestly. Oh my god. That is like a god tier roast. Oh, rest in peace. He didn't have a soul after that conversation because he got crushed. Moral of the story: if someone clearly isn't receptive to your advances, give up. You might get roasted within an inch of your life if you keep pushing it. Oh my god. Alright. This next story is called, Am I the Asshole for Lying to My Family for 2 years that my house purchase deal fell through? A few years ago, my husband and I told our relatives that we wanted to buy a country house by the lake. In our country, almost everyone lives in apartments, so our families were very happy. My mother immediately decided that she wanted to arrange a vegetable garden in the yard of this house. My husband's sister said it would be a great place where she could take her children for the summer. My sister started fantasizing about family picnics. My husband's brother joked that it would be a good place to get drunk on weekends. We were both terrified. We didn't want any of this. We just wanted a place where we could feel truly at home, where we can rest, where we can arrange everything to our tastes, where there'll be peace and quiet and not family squabbles, where we can raise our future children. Yeah, so in the end we decided to tell them that the deal had fallen through and that there would be no house. After all, it's not even their business. We were the only ones buying the house and it's got nothing to do with them. We didn't have to tell them. We only told the truth to our best friends, whom we were sure would not spoil anything. The house is really beautiful and my friends and I often go there on weekends. Well, 2 years have passed, and my sister found out about the house on accident, because one of my friends posted a photo from there. Now our families are furious and call us greedy. Many of the relatives don't want to talk to us until we give them the address. My mum even asked for spare keys. This is exactly the hype that we try so hard to avoid. I don't think we're assholes, but my husband's starting to hesitate about what we should have done, so outside advice can help us. Are we the assholes? It's not your house. Greedy. It's not your house. If you want to live on in a nice country house by the lake, get your own. The title was, Am I the Asshole for Lying to My Family for 2 years that my house purchase deal fell through? And the context was, she told her parents it fell through because everyone was immediately like, oh, that's my house now. And she and her husband were like, nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Ugh. And of course, the second they find out, they're like, give us your keys, tell us where it is, we want to go there. You're so greedy, you shouldn't have hid this house from us. It's not the family house. It's their That is so entitled. Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Fuck off. Oh, don't give them the address. OP. Don't never ever give them the address. Don't give them the address. Trust me, do not give them that address. Oh my god. Yeah, legit lads, like, oh, how sinful that they didn't want mum taking over the garden, sister's kids running around everywhere, brother getting drunk in the garden, family showing up all the time, in their private home without permission. Take that address to the grave. It is not going to be worth it. Never let them know. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. Jaeger, how are you? What's up? What's up? How you doing? It's lovely to see you. I hope you're doing wonderfully. Oh my god. Exactly how I am. Oh my god. Yeah, legit, me. Legit. No. Don't. No. Oh my god. Some people are absolutely like up themselves. Like, damn. Gotcha, Ari. Take all the time you need. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, Jaeger. Fuck yeah, let's go. I know I am. How dare. Oh my god. Some families are insanely entitled. It is wild. Alright. Am I the arsehole for getting my neighbor and client banned by all the local babysitters after they tried to renege on a deal? Horse cheese! Thank you for the horse cheese, love, darling. I appreciate it. Of course, have a lovely time at the gym. Oh shit, samurai. Well, you know what to do, darling. Drop your reference over in redeems, and I shall add it to the list. Also, make sure to include 20-minute doodle. And if you haven't decided on your reference yet either, just put redeemed 20-minute doodle. Alright. On to the next tale. Over the holidays, I, female 17, got a chance to go to the Caribbean with my neighbours as their nanny. My parents weren't thrilled, but it was after Christmas, so they let me go. The deal was pretty simple. It was 10 days at an all-inclusive resort. I would share a room with the kids and take care of them 7 days and nights, and in return I got $500 and 3 days to myself. The rooms were adjoining, I think that's the right word. I door joined them. My parents insisted I get everything in writing so there was no mistakes. Basically, we agreed I would work 2 days and take 1 day off, over and over. No problem, I thought. I checked out the included activities and any excursions I might like. On my 3rd day off, I'd planned to go scuba diving. I got up early and went on my excursion. When I got back, the parents were mad that I'd left without warning. I reminded them that we had a deal, and they said that they had met another couple there and were going golfing, and that I screwed up their plans. I don't know why they made plans on one of my free days. They were upset all the way home. When we got back, they posted about how irresponsible I was. One of the other families called me to get my side of the story. So I sent them a picture of the deal we agreed on. They said they knew I wouldn't do what I was being accused of. So then they started commenting on the posts by my neighbors. My parents did this also. But I think everyone thought they were just protecting me. So now it's a big deal and everyone knows that they tried to change our deal without talking to me. Some of the other babysitters or their parents are now saying they won't babysit for my neighbors anymore. I feel bad about it because they paid a lot for my vacation, but if they'd asked, I probably would have switched my excursion to the last day. Anyway, they're upset that I knocked, which I didn't. They said I could have talked to them if I had a problem, but I'm not the one who made it public. Am I the asshole? Well, no. Hi, Tiger. How are you? Thank you for the love. I appreciate it, darling. Yes, I live. I'm live. I'm sorry. It's like I literally read that. It's like, glad to see you live, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not dead. And it's like, oh wait, live. Duh. Oh my god. How are you doing, Faye? I hope you're doing wonderfully. Oh, that joke, of course. Mwah. Oh my god. It's lovely to see you though. I hope you've been doing good. Oh my god, yeah. Like, not the arsehole. I mean, for one, they didn't even cause the thing which caused the kerfuffle. It was their parents, which, understandable. No, not the arsehole. Absolutely not the arsehole. In fact, kind of bystander. Like, but ultimately, it's on them. Like, if they hadn't started posting online of how terrible and irresponsible this person was, essentially trying to ruin their job prospects as a babysitter, maybe the parents of the child wouldn't have shot back with evidence that you're a piece of shit. Like, I don't know, it smells like the consequences of your actions. Like, hi Eros, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh, heck yes. I hope you're having as much fun as you can while working. Oh yes, draw Navi. I'm sure it's going to come out looking brilliant. Yeah, not the arsehole. In fact, like, not even the one who caused the issue, like, the side character in your own story. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. It's that whole case of, like, they broke the deal, then they tried to paint you online as a terrible, irresponsible babysitter, which is really bad for that particular job. So, like, yeah, they kind of deserve to have the full context of the story out there. And honestly, the fact that no one else is willing to babysit their kids anymore because they're fuck knuckles, not surprised. But good on this kid for getting everything in writing, though. Good on this kid for getting everything in writing. That was a smart move. Thumbs up to the parents for getting the kid to do that. That was a very smart move. And it paid off in the end. Alright. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that our daughters are no longer doing homework together and her kids' grades are hers to manage? Oh. My daughter has a best friend named Sarah. They're both in the 4th grade. The two girls would do their homework together at the school's after program. School ended at 2:30 and I would pick my kid up at 4ish, so they had time to do work. The issue started when I got a call from the teacher about cheating. Both girls' homeworks were identical. Even any sentence questions were word for word. I explained that the girls do the work together and she made it clear that this isn't just helping each other, it's basically copying at this point. She can't tell if either girl is struggling from the homework, but she knows one girl is due to test scores. But she knows one girl is due to the test scores. She told me she's going to talk to the other parent also. I informed my daughter that she needs to do her homework by herself, that she can do it by herself after school or play, and will do it when she gets home. She decided to do it by herself. It's been 2 weeks of this, and overall seemed fine. But then the other girl's parent confronted me today. She asked why the girls were not doing work together. I explained the cheating situation and thought that the teacher had talked to her. She told me that they weren't cheating and just helping each other out, that her daughter's math score had gone down since. I informed her that the kids are no longer doing work together and her kids' grades are hers to manage. If she's struggling now, then she needs to deal with that. She called me an asshole. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole? No. No, that's no. No, of course not. Like, that literally is cheating. Literally. Like, for this other parent to be like, oh, that's not cheating, let them help each other out. That parent is literally telling their kid to cheat. That parent is actively encouraging the kid to cheat in order to get their grades up. It's a terrible thing to teach your kid. Like, no. Nuh-uh. You can teach your kid. How about that? Huh? Huh? Maybe be a parent. Yeah, I know. How dare your kid not get my kid's grades up? Huh? I know, right? How horrible. Yeah, legit. Just saying, if they don't teach that kid not to cheat on their homework as young as they are, that kid's gonna grow up handing in ChatGPT essays and not checking to see the big bold font in the center of it saying, I was written by ChatGPT in every fucking line. Like, the kid's gonna get busted for plagiarism so easy. Like, oh my god. Already has been. Like, do the homework yourself. And if you don't like homework so much, then stand your ground. Do what I did. Just don't fucking do it. Easy. If you don't want to do your homework, don't cheat on it. Just don't do it. You may as well just commit to the bit at that point. Because it's far better to be lazy than a cheater. Because a cheater is like, ugh, you're dumb and exploitative. But at least lazy is just wasted potential. No, do your homework. Exactly, you can ask people for help. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Like, I hated doing homework. I do assignments, but homework? Nah, I never bothered with it. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing it. I was like, my brain was always very much like, no, I'm not, no, I do work at school, that's enough. I don't need to bring it home with me either. Home life and school life, very different. I'll do homework in the library at school, but the minute I'm home, I'm not touching that shit with a 10-foot pole. Another contest, but I heard don't do homework, and honestly real. Honestly, I am one of those people who, I do believe homework is silly. Mostly because, now assignments is different. Assignments, fully valid, completely behind them. They're clearly there to test your ability. But non-assignment homework, the stuff they just give you to do at home, that like, it doesn't really impact your grade or anything. Just random homework. I think that is stupid. Like, at that point, they're just, clearly, you haven't organized your schedule good enough if you can't teach your kids everything that they're required to learn in your time bracket. Something has gone wrong there if they need to take it home. Like, come on. You're free. But like, assignments, that is very different. Do your assignments. And one thing you'll notice as well is when you're in college, you will notice that they don't really give you homework. They give you assignments, but that's really it. You can do homework if you want, but they don't care. Like, it's like, yeah, like, they want you to study, but like, if you don't, it's on you. But like, they don't give you homework. They're like, I mean, if you don't want to study, I mean, you're going to get shit scores, that's on you. And, you know, you study because you don't want shit scores. But like, you'll notice in college, they don't actually expect you to do homework. They expect you to do your assignments and to study. But it's like, at the same time, they're like, I mean, if you don't, not my problem. I have literally had college teachers, like, straight up in the beginning be like, look, we want you guys to do the best you can. But we're all adults. You should be studying for 10 hours a week. But if you don't, honestly, I'm gonna get the same paycheck regardless. I don't care if you fail or not. I will do my best to help you succeed, but it's not going to affect my paycheck at the end of the day. So you've got to take care of yourselves. Anyway, let's get on. It's like, wow. Kind of based.
Bit of a dick, but kind of based. Exactly, we got chores to do, we got bills to pay. Oh my god. Yeah. Honestly, a lot of homework is just busy work, honestly. Oh yeah, I mean, like, memorizing scripts is a bit different. Because ultimately, it's kind of like, you don't have to memorize it if you don't want to, but I'm not the one who's going to look like an idiot on the stage. And that's pretty solid motivation, honestly. Yeah. For real, for real. Yeah. It's like, there's always a bias with it. And honestly, like, at the end of the day, no matter what your grades are, in college, in school, all you have to do is pass to the extent you need to get to the next step. So say you want to be a doctor and you need to get a minimum of like 80 on everything. You don't need to get 90 or 99. 80's fine. Because you've hit that minimum benchmark. And it's that whole case of like knowing when to pace yourself. And a lot of adulthood is kind of like, school very much teaches you have to be like 100% every second, every day. You burn the fuck out. Oh, if you want honors, you have to, but at the same time, that's a benchmark you choose for yourself. And ultimately, like, in work life, it's very different. It's very much kind of like, they expect you to have maybe 100% of effort in a week and to divvy it up. There will be times when your brain is just fogged out. It's okay to just be fogged for a bit. You're not going to get a pay cut because of it. And yeah, like, so long as you're switched on in the times that you're needed to be switched on, no one's going to bite your ass if you're switched off at the times where it doesn't matter. So long as you are doing your job. Yeah. Oh yeah? Honestly, guys, I do not blame you at all. But yeah, like, ultimately, I am of the belief perfection is overrated. So long as you are happy with where you're at, regardless of all the people around you, if you are happy with where you stand, you're doing good. And if no matter what you do, your parent always points out someone who's better, if you're getting A's and your parent's like, well, it's not an A+, or you're getting A+, and it's like, yeah, but like, Timmy got more A+ than you, you're never gonna win. You're just not. If your parent or your teacher is that kind of person, you're never gonna win. So it would be far healthier if you just focus on what you care about. If you are happy, and not, doomed, just sticking with A's, stick with A's, because at the end of the day, those of us boomers who have entered the workforce, one thing we can all tell you: high school does not fucking matter anywhere near as much as you think it does. Oh my god. Nah. Like, as an adult, no one gives a shit about high school. Nobody. No one cares. College, care a little bit. But like, mostly they care that you have the degree, not what your scores were. At best, it's degree versus degree with honors. That's it. No one gives a shit what your scores in the degree were, so long as you have it. And that's in the realm of degrees. And they also don't care if you don't have a degree. If you're paying taxes and paying your bills as an adult, that's all they care about. Like, in the adult world, like, just don't be a dick. And people are like, Gucci. But yeah, like, no one gives anywhere near as much of a shit about school
as you'd think. Like, when you're in it, it feels like the end of the world. But when you're out of it, meh. If you peaked in high school, my condolences. Yeah. Oh my god. Hi Marty, how are you? It's lovely to see you. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. How are you? How are you? Oh my god. Thank you for the hydrate, Miki. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now, for this next spicy chicken nugget. Am I the arsehole for refusing to apologize to my friend's boyfriend? Thank you for the posture check. Yay, I'm glad that your sickness is slowly fading. Yay! Health. I beam all of the health beams towards you. Get fucking better. Imagine like I've got my hands next to my face and I'm doing a really weird wiggly finger motion. Believe it or not, you guys think I look weird as the model, but the model's toned down. I make weird hand motions constantly. And part of my joy is knowing that you can't see them. But one day I'm gonna get a 3D model one day in the far future, and I have a hand tracker, so you're gonna see the weird shit then. But until then, my weird hand gestures are hidden. Eh? Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my god, I am so sorry. I honestly thought I changed it. Ah, my bad, I've swapped it. Oh my god, I genuinely thought... No, I swear it was under just chatting. I swear it was under just chatting. Oh, I swear. Oh well, I've changed it now. It's under just chatting now. My bad, my bad. I did not mean to have it on art. Whoops. I mean, I draw though. I am an artist, so like, maybe technically. Hmm? I made my model. Does that count? Does that count for the art category? I made me, so technically, I'm not making me now, but like a year ago. Oh, so it's just like Twitch bugging it. Yeah, because I was like, no, I swear I changed it. Oh, so Twitch reverts titles and categories. Ah, that makes sense. Because I knew I changed it to just chatting. Oh my god. Ah, fuck you, Twitch. But at the same time, Twitch knows I'm an artist. Thank you. Twitch knows my place. Twitch knows my people. Twitch knows that I'm not being productive tonight and wants to call me out on it. Am I the arsehole for refusing to apologize on my friend's boyfriend? This is so fucking stupid. I feel like I'm in high school again. I, 34 female, have a friend named Summer, who's also 34, who's a free spirit. In high school, she got sent home multiple times for going to class barefoot. She dropped out of college and hitchhiked to Mexico one summer. Didn't tell anyone where she was going. She forgets to pay her phone bill, so she's occasionally unreachable. I know that sounds like a lot, and it'll sound like even more by the end of this, but we've been friends since we were 10. I don't care that she's a mess. I love her. We're in this for the long haul. Summer's boyfriend, Will, is the opposite of her, and I hoped he'd mellow out her wild side. You know how Summer forgets to pay her phone bill? Well, apparently she did it again. I found out when Will called me Friday morning while I was at work. He said he was having trouble locating Summer. I said, yep, that's Summer for you. If you get a hold of her, please tell her to call me. Best of luck. Then I hung up, thinking nothing of it. Will rang me again and demanded to know where Summer is. I truthfully said that I had no idea, but I'll call her parents for him and see if they know. I went to do exactly that, but Will called me again before I could. I answered, and it was the same question, but angrier. Where the fuck is my girlfriend? I'll spare you the suspense. This went on for quite some time. Absolutely no clue why Will was convinced I know where Summer is, but I told him exactly where I last saw her and that she disappears like this routinely, which he damn well knows. They've been together for a fucking year. I used the plainest language possible, but Will just wouldn't relent. He called me about 50 times. I put it on silent at first, but by the 51st time I'd had enough. I'd answered and I said, bro, stop blowing up my phone. I don't know where Summer is and I'll block you if I have to. You're gonna get me fucking fired. Then I turned my phone off. Today, Summer called me. I was expecting some form of explanation, but she opened with, I'm handing the phone to Will. He wants an apology. I stopped her and said, an apology for what? And she said, for saying that he blew up your phone. To which I replied, he did blow up my phone, and I was at work too. Maybe I shouldn't have threatened to block, but he didn't get the point the first 50 times I said it calmly. Summer said, just apologize because he's really pissed. And here's where I'm probably the asshole. No. No to oh fucking that. I am not apologizing because of a milquetoast boyfriend, who is basically the human equivalent of a dry ham sandwich, is on some ego trip. I said that, but nicer, and she hung up on me. Now I'm thinking I should have sucked it up rather than jeopardize 2 decades of friendship. Am I the asshole? No. No. He called her 50 times. He blew up her phone. If that isn't blowing up someone's phone, I don't know what is. Calling up someone 10 times within the span of 10 minutes is blowing up someone's phone. 50 times? Dude. He's the one who should apologize for being so rude. Because that's fucked. Absolutely not the arsehole. Absolutely not the arsehole. Like, no. Like, honestly, no. That's, no. Kind of feel bad for Ope, but also, milquetoast boyfriend. Oh my god, Mickey. It's the consequences of his inactions. Clean your ears, bitch. Oh my god. Ooh, a wedding shenanigan. Oh, legit, Morthy, legit. Like, honestly, I'll pick up the first time, maybe the second. The third, if I'm feeling really generous, and I will never pick up again after that point. The first time, I will probably assume it's something important. The second time, I'll assume you left out something important. The third time, I'm sorry, man, I can't really talk right now. Can you please get to the point? The fourth time, nothing. Nothing. Voice bank, voice bank, voice bank, voice bank. I am muting your ass. Because if you didn't tell me the important thing in the first 3 times, you don't have something important to say. You're being a dick. Oh my god, Nix, really? Your poor brother. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, like, you're not responsible for any of that. Oh, you mosh. Oh, I see, you hitting me with the wait. Wait, I've got the perfect image to respond to your premium riz. Right, let me just find the image. I've got the perfect response. Alright, here we go. Alright, it's in here. Perfect. Premium riz. And that was drawn by Goodnight Spectre brackets Ghosty and brackets in chat. Clicked back to Riz.
Bye, Mickey. Have a wonderful night. Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh, Ghosty, I Lloyded everyone. With your art. Thank you. It was a full screen Lloyd as well. The premium Lloyd. No regrets. So that is my response to your premium Riz. That face specifically. Again, I missed it. You know what? Just for you, and so we can show you clipped it. Alright. Chat. Are you COVID-19? 'Cause you take my breath away. Get rizzed. You're welcome. You're welcome. Our darling Goodnight Spectre in chat, our darling Ghosty, is the artist of that wonderful masterpiece. Go give them all of the love, and it is their fault that I now have this power.
Mods googling how to ban the streamer.
Rusty spoon. You got spring rolled, all right. Riz. Hello, Astor. How are you, buddy? My cat's come to say hello. And I mean, now, here is the perfect response to the other side of the coin. Alright, where are we? Alright, perfect. Now, this response is the... Why don't you like my Riz? Love my Riz, damn it! Also drawn by the amazing Ghosty in chat. Do me a favor. Oh. This is dopamine. This is happiness. This is joy. I believe in sharing the absolute masterpieces of those words. Correction, the best thing you've ever drawn. The power is immense. If I ever one day become a Twitch partner, the emotes are coming. Lloyd will be an option. He will wait to Discord till the day. But when I get those shit tons of emote slots, maybe one day in the far future, Lloyd is the first one in. Ooh. Can I say, knowing what I know now, without sounding super Aussie? Knowing what I know now? Or should I go, knowing what I know now? Riz. Oh my god, a Chad face one, that would be so funny. Straight up, like, if I ever hit partner and am able to, like, get those uber oodles of emote. That's why I want partner, okay? It's the emote slots. If I ever get the emote slots, I will absolutely, like, let you guys just throw a bunch of emote suggestions at me and just go ham. Oh, right, more Bogan. Riz, moi! Why did that bring you over here, Asta? Hello, buddy. My cat fell for the Riz. Anyway, am I the arsehole for upstaging the bride with an outfit that was approved prior to the wedding? No. It was my first Western wedding, so I was careful about avoiding any cultural gaffe. I'm friends with the groom and asked him for the dress code. It was dressing up to our nines in neutrals and pastels. I had this lovely sari that fit the bill. I sent him a picture, and he said it was perfect. 5 months before the wedding, I met the bride with many of the other groom's friends at the bar, and I showed her pictures of the sari to ask if it was appropriate. I also told her I'd be happy to buy a new outfit if it wasn't. So whatever she says will go. She said it was delightful, and she'd be glad to have some culture added to her wedding pictures. Alright. The day arrived. Friends stayed in the back for the ceremony, so there weren't many eyes on me. For the reception, the bride changed into a gown that could be best described as greyish white. It was the same fabric as my outfit. The majority and outer layer of her gown was still white though. Only the embroidery was the same colour as my sari, and the underneath fabric had a hint of the same grey as mine, thus making it greyish. The groom, his mother, and our friends complimented me for how nice I looked. The groom's mother especially loved it as she kept coming up to me to compliment me more. She's half Indian and was brought up in the country, so she too had worn a sari for the special day, and seeing someone else in it seemed to be sentimental for her. The bride and bridesmaids, though, were a different ballgame. The bride gave me the stink eye. A bridesmaid tried to spill her drink on me. Another commented if my outfit was going to turn out white in the pictures. When we showed up to get group pictures done, I thoughtlessly ended up standing next to the couple. The bride made moves so that I ended up at the very corner by the time the photographer started clicking. As we stood in a group for the bouquet throwing thingy, the maid of honor asked if I was going to try and catch it like I haven't gotten enough attention for the day. On our way back, I asked my friends if my behavior or outfit was inappropriate. They didn't think anything of it. Am I the asshole? No. She showed the group. He approved. She showed the bride. She approved. The outfit was approved. So it was really immature of the bride to get shitty about an outfit she approved for the wedding. This was not a case of upstaging. This was a case of a jealous idiot. 8 nuts, lady. I'm fully behind that. Not the arsehole. Absolutely not the arsehole. Like, yes, I'm 100% behind, like, don't upstage the bride or groom at their own wedding. They're the ones who paid for it. You're getting free food. But if you have their express permission to wear a certain outfit, and then they get shitty at you on the day for wearing that outfit, they're just shitty people. Don't renege on your deals. Hello again, Asta. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for rejecting my niece's adoption request in front of other people? Exactly, Cry. Honestly. Swoosh. My niece, 14, has lived with me since her parents went to prison 5 years ago. Drugs. My sister's getting out later this year. She's been working very hard in prison to improve herself and got her GED. We're still very close and we talk via the app the prison provides, and I take her daughter to visit her, along with her brother who lives with his dad's brother once a month. There's an app? We were having a birthday dinner at my mother's for myself and my daughter, 16. Most of my family was there. For my present, my niece decided to give me adoption request papers, or whatever they are. I never ended up reading them. I was stunned and just shook my head. I was so shocked and confused. The plan was she was always supposed to go home. My mother was upset by this request as well as my other siblings, and my husband couldn't think of what to do either. She never brought this up in counseling or anything. I can't do that to my sister. I would not be able to take care of her without support financially from my grandma, who would stop supporting if I had agreed. This was never even a thought. So now she and my daughter hate me, it seems. My son, 21, said it was probably the same thing she got from TikTok and she will eventually get over it. My husband agrees with me, my siblings are staying out of it. My nephew isn't speaking to his sister now. It's a mess. Am I the arsehole here? Trying to get an outside opinion. Reddit seems as good a place as any. ETA, my sister has a home with a lot of rent paid and a job, while my aunt waiting the minute she gets out, since this keeps coming up. No. This one's a bit murkier. Because the kid's 14. And so this is one of those situations where I want to say no arseholes are here. Because the most important thing is the kid is 14. And it's the kid that gave the adoption request. That both of the kids went to parents 5 years prior. Like, both of the kids' parents went to prison 5 years prior for drugs. It is extremely likely before they went to prison, they were very shitty parents. For this kid to come from a household with terrible parents into a household where they felt safe and cared for and loved for half of a decade, from the kid's perspective, the idea of going back to those original parents probably sounds like her worst nightmare. And so, she goes out of her way to surprise someone that she thinks loves her like a real parent should, with adoption papers, kind of saying, I see you like my mum, so can you be my mum for real now? That's not malicious. It's heartbreaking. And it's really sad that it seems like this kid is being punished for this. And it's like, to suddenly spring it up, it's like, if this kid was older, because it's like 16, 17, 18, oh yeah, you would have known to spring that kind of shit up in private. 14? Like, I'm willing to believe this is never something that's been talked about before. And one thing as well we've all got to keep in mind is when you're that age, if it's not something your family or friends talk about, where do we learn things? Media. Social media, commercial media. And you want to know what a very common story is in adoption movies? Some of you might know where I'm going with this. In a lot of young kids' movies, it is a very common storyline of orphan kid or foster kid has bad childhood. Protagonist takes kid in. And the movie is about the kid and the protagonist bonding and becoming a real family. And at the end, either the kid surprises the parent or the parent surprises the kid with adoption papers. And it's a happy ending and they become a family forever. This is a very common through line in a lot of kids' movies, especially when there's an adoption case. This kid is technically a foster kid. Criminal parents. And it's extremely likely that she would have related to these kinds of movies. And thrown as well, there would probably be a lot of fantasies of this caliber on the internet. The internet is, these days, it is a absolute landslide of echo chambers. And I am willing to bet that if adoption ever came up before, from how this post is written, I am willing to bet that it was brushed off. Like, I would bet money on the fact that if this kid tried to call, call this person mum, or, do any hints, I am willing to bet it was politely brushed off. Probably not even noticed. And so, it makes sense that kid would follow the movies. And yeah, this is one of those cases where reality hits. Nothing's like the movies. And at the age of 14, your head's still in the clouds at that age. That's middle school. That's year 7, year 8. Your head is still in the clouds. You're still dreaming of the future. You're barely a teenager. You're in the early stages of puberty. Life is a dream. Thank you for the love, dear Mothy. I appreciate it. Mwah. And this just feels like a tragedy where no one is truly at fault. Because ultimately, in the adult world, or in the mature world, presenting those kind of papers in public, us as adults are very aware that that has a potential to go very badly and backfire. But we all had to learn this lesson at some point. And it may not have been this scenario, but at some point, we had to learn the hard way, in some way, of what we should and shouldn't keep in private scenarios. Thank you for the flower crown, dear Tiger, I appreciate it. And unfortunately, I think this kid just grew up a little bit more. Yeah. Yeah, Ghosty, yeah. I'd say there's no arseholes here. This kid wasn't being malicious. This kid just had high hopes and probably, honest to God, thought that giving OP these papers as a birthday gift was a really touching gift. Because for a kid like that, if you're in that situation, the kid turning around and going, adopt me, that's kind of the equivalent, a higher end equivalent of the stray cat finally loving you. It's very much, it's kind of the case of I didn't trust anyone, but I chose you. I really care about you. I love you, like a parent, so I want it to be real. And that's what makes it heartbreaking. No arseholes here on this one. If anything, I just feel bad for the kid. It's crushing. Sometimes there are sad stories in here. Anyway, on to the next one. I do hope things work out for that character, for that person though. Alright. Am I the asshole for refusing to babysit last minute and ruining the parents' important plans because their son seemed older than they said they were? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I, 19 female, have been babysitting occasionally for a few families for the past 2 years. A week ago, a new family got my number from one of the families I babysit for a lot. I told them up front that I have this rule where I only babysit boys that are 10 and under. But when it comes to girls, age isn't an issue. So they told me they had 2 boys, ages 9 and 10, so I agreed. They told me that they had very important plans the day I am to babysit, and I assured them I'm very professional and will be there on time and all that. The day came and I went to their house and the dad greeted me, then took me to their living room to meet the boys. To my surprise, the boys looked like no 9 and 10-year-old I've ever met. One looked 12, and the other looked like he could be 15 or even 16. Both were taller than me, and the older one even had some visible facial hair. All that was going through my head was that these parents lied to me about the ages because I lead with my rules about age, and they lied to me just so I would accept. When the mother came down and greeted me, I asked to speak to her in another room and told her I cannot babysit. I was also truthful about the reason, and she was livid. We go into a back and forth, where I basically said I feel they lied about the ages, and she even said, "Oh, so you want me to show you their birth certificates to believe me?" And at this point I was kind of mad because she was immediately livid, and I also felt like I was fooled. Anyways, I said, yeah, some proof would help. She stomped off to the living room, and I could hear her tell her husband to, "Get this bitch out of my house, I will stay with the boys." I walked out of the kitchen towards the front door and announced, "I'm leaving," before I stepped out. Later that night, the mum of the family who recommended me called me and was also pretty angry. I explained that these boys looked so much older than they were said to be, and there was no way they weren't lying. She said maybe one's actually 11, but the other is truly 9, and they just looked like they were so much older. To be fair, the mother was tall and the dad was huge. It's actually the reason I asked to confront the mother and not the father. But boys weren't just tall, but also looked older face-wise. Also, babysitting 2 strange boys who were both taller and clearly so much stronger than me doesn't feel safe, which is why I have the age rule in the first place. There was no way that their mother didn't realize her boys looked so much older than boys their ages. I feel like it was something she should have mentioned after me telling her my rule about ages. I felt like I was justified, but I also felt bad that I ruined their plans. Everyone involved was angry with me, and I wonder if maybe I was overreacting and should have just babysat since I agreed. Right now I don't know what to think. Was I the arsehole here? No? This is a tricky one. Like, ultimately, instinctually, I want to say no. Because, ultimately, safety is paramount. And that is very true. And she clearly defined she would not babysit boys over 10. And even when the friend who called was pissed off, and she explained, she was like, "Oh, maybe one's 11, but the other's definitely 9. That's still lying. There's a lot of miscommunication. It's very clear that those parents lied to her about at least one of the children's ages so they could trick her into babysitting. And that absolves her. Ultimately, if they're not going to honor the contract, she doesn't have to either. Yeah, this is a hard one. I think I want to put my chip, so to speak, on not the arsehole. So the worst part is, like, I'm torn because, like, part of my brain's like, no, you said you're gonna do something, so do it. But the other part's like, oh no, like if she felt unsafe, she was well within her right to leave. Like, at the end of the day, no job is worth your safety. I'm gonna say not the arsehole. Honestly, at the end of the day, your safety is not worth being stubborn. But yeah, like, ultimately, like, yeah, no, safety's paramount. If they obviously dwarf her and she feels unsafe, she's well within her right to leave. Yep. Not the arsehole. Absolutely not the arsehole. The arsehole on this one, I am definitely is the mum. Without a doubt. No hesitation. Full arsehole behavior. She immediately got extremely defensive about their ages. and then stonewalled her like the second she called her out on it. That always means that she's lied about something. Always. Always. You don't jump straight to hard defense without a reason. Because if you jumped straight to hard defense, you were preparing to defend the entire time. So yeah, clearly they probably just wanted a cheap babysitter and they didn't want to pay for the beefy guy to take care of them. And they were just being lazy. So they decided to bullshit their way into it and were shocked when she walked out and she walked in. Yeah, no, not the arsehole. Not the arsehole. No jobs worth your safety. Nope. It basically is like babysitting catfishing. Yeah, I fully agree with that, Nix. Alright. Am I the arsehole for telling my mum to spend money on a tutor for her favourite daughter because I won't be helping my sister? Ooh! This sounds like it's gonna be spicy. My parents had me, 16, and my sister, 14. We lost our dad a few years ago. My mum has heavily favoured my sister since she was born, to the point she has raised my sister to be a pretty shitty person to be around. At least she is to me. Dad noticed it and called Mum out, and at some point they did therapy where apparently it came to light that the grandmother she named me after was a person my mum had a lot of resentment towards. Why she named me after her, then I'll never know. She claimed not to realise at the time, but she at least had some resentment towards me based on that. She also had some PPD when I was born and claimed that the early months with me were a very dark time. Whenever we fight, she takes my sister's side regardless of what happens. Sister takes food off my plate, won't get in trouble. If I yell at her for it, I get punished. If I take food off of my sister's plate in return, I get punished. Sister takes something from my room, nothing said. I bang on her door after she locked it and try to get it back, punished for harassing my sister and making noise. I tell my mum about this stuff happening, she says something about learning how to share, or my sister being the baby, or my sister needing more, so let it go. My sister loves to gloat that mum loves her more. My sister has told me that mum has told her she loves her, but she tolerates me. My sister told me mum wishes I died instead of dead. She told me that they talk about that stuff. She also told me that after dad died, mum pulled all the money from my college saving and put it into hers. My sister also lies to mum and claims I did stuff when she feels like I didn't get in enough trouble recently. In June, she got me grounded for the whole month by breaking her laptop and claiming I'd done it. She knew it would be believable too, because I resented mum for buying my sister a brand new gaming laptop while I had to buy a really cheap second-hand one myself with money from my birthday and Christmas. Mum didn't even let me say anything, and my sister gloated that mum will always believe her over me. It came to my mum's attention a few months ago that my sister is struggling in school in a couple of places, and she can't seem to catch back up easily. But I always had good grades. I could even graduate early in theory, if my school offered that. They don't. My mum's aware of this from past years. So she told me a couple of weeks ago that I need to start tutoring my sister before she gets into a hole she can't climb out of. And I told my mum I won't help my sister. My mum told me I will and it's my duty to help. I told her to spend money on a tutor for her favourite daughter because I won't do a thing to help either of them with this. I told her that they don't deserve my help. My mum asked how I could put my sister's future at risk. I shrugged. Mum called me names and slammed a door when she left me. The tension's high because of this and my sister's loving it. Am I the asshole? No! Dear God, no. Like, if you can, sweet child, fucking move out when you hit 18. Move out the second you can. That is beyond toxic. Holy shit. Move. 16, emancipation's very difficult. Hold out 2 more years. Second you hit 18, fucking bolt if you can. Living in a shitty share house is honest to God better than this. Oh my God, that is terrible. Holy shit, that poor kid. Oh my God. Jesus fucking Christ. Like, no. No. Like, absolutely, like... She absolutely should shift the second she gets and cut them off. Like, that is horrible. Holy shit, that is toxic. Leave! Please, dear God, leave! Welcome home, Ghosty! Oh my God, please escape, I'm begging. Alright. Am I the asshole for arguing back when my parents were disappointed that I didn't name my daughter after my late aunt? Oh my God.
The sweet piping hot sprinkles that were blessed by Lloyd. Yeah, you know they're high quality. You know they're high quality, Ghosty, because they were Lloyded. Mm-hmm. Yeah, legit, Betty. Legit. 100%. The older sister, I hope she never gives in. Never gives in, because it's going to be more pain than it's worth, and she's going to come out of it in a hellhole anyway. Alright. Now for the next story. My aunt died 2 weeks before I got pregnant. When I announced, the expectations were on me to name my daughter Elizabeth after my aunt, as if she were a daughter. My aunt had Down syndrome and was so beloved and special to our family. I adored her too, but I never wanted to name my daughter Elizabeth. I had my own reasons for not liking the name Elizabeth, and my husband feels the same, to us wanting to give our child their own name that is not a family name. I told my family during my pregnancy that if my baby was a girl, she wouldn't be named Elizabeth, and I refused to communicate about it afterwards. Well, my daughter was born 3 weeks ago, and my family were furious when we announced her name, and it wasn't Elizabeth. They believed I would change my mind when I told them about the birth, mostly due to the fact that I was aware that they didn't approve. They came out with us on Saturday and told me I was wrong and asked how Elizabeth would feel if she knew I hadn't wanted to name my daughter after her. They told me it was an unkind thing to do and that my daughter would have been blessed to be named after her special great aunt. I told them talking like that is one of the reasons I wouldn't want that. I said my daughter deserves her own name and not one where she will always be told she should feel blessed or grateful to be named after my aunt. They told me I was being ridiculous and I was making excuses. I told them they were right and I didn't need to make any to them because it was none of their business. They wouldn't let up, so I told them to go out and to not reach out until they accept that my daughter is not Elizabeth. My family told me arguing them was not the way to conduct myself. They argued first, but I mean, I did argue back, I guess. So am I the asshole? I mean, not their baby, so... If you want to name a kid Elizabeth so bad, then maybe have one. Like... I'm sorry, the couple that spawns the crotch goblin names the crotch goblin. And that's the end of story. And the only one who can rename the crotch goblin is the crotch goblin itself. That's it. Parents give crotch goblin first name, and then the crotch goblin can call itself whatever it wants later in life. No one else gets to join in on the decision. You don't contribute? Nah. Just nah. Exactly, lass. I know, right? Honestly. I mean, you're not wrong, Molly. Everyone names the kid. Yeah, like clearly it's a group decision. So we've named our child Cheese Grater. Oh my god. Yeah, no, like 100%, like they can all cry in their little corners, but the kid's not getting the name Elizabeth no matter how much they want them to. Exactly, Morty, exactly. And if you can't afford a child or you don't want a crotch goblin, get a cat. They clean themselves. And you can name it Elizabeth if you really wanna. Trombone. Trombone shark. Oh my god. Alright. Am I the asshole for saying that this was a hard deadline and you didn't send the money, so either pay full price or don't go at all? I'm going to retire soon. I work at the airport and the job allows me to have cheaper flights. My wife asked me if we could use my discount to go on a family vacation. Over the holidays, I informed all the kids and their spouses that we're going on vacation and are welcome to join. They need to give us the discounted prices of the tickets and the rest is paid for by us. Hi, Lewd Trouble! Thank you so much for the follow, I really appreciate it, thank you. And welcome to the Uncanny Valley, it is a pleasure to meet you. Hi, Brex! Whew! Oh, poor child. Oh my god.
Later that month, I informed them over the group chat that they needed to give the money by the 30th of January so I can buy the tickets on the 31st. I got everyone's money besides Jenny. Jenny is my daughter-in-law and has a habit of being late to events and other things. I gave her a call on the 29th and she never answered. So I bought the tickets and Jenny doesn't have one. My son does have a ticket since he gave me the money a while ago, and according to them, they have separate money. I never hear back from Jenny until now, and we're leaving this Friday. She was asking what time the flight was. I told her I thought she wasn't going since she never gave the cash. She doesn't have a ticket. This is where the argument started. She's calling me a jerk for not buying her a ticket, and I told her this was a hard deadline. You didn't send the money, so you either don't go or you pay full price. You're an adult. You need to understand deadlines, and I'm not chasing you around. She called me a jerk and the family's torn. They agree it's her fault, but I could have been nicer. Edit. I asked my daughter-in-law if she knew what was going on with those two. According to her, they pay separate for things, and daughter-in-law apparently has a habit of saying she'll pay back her husband and doesn't when he covers for her. He told her he wasn't covering her. She thought he was bluffing. He wasn't. Ooh. I don't know if he's coming on the trip or not, though. Welp. Smells like karma. I mean, I don't know. That. You had the chance. Like, not the arsehole. Like, what can you do? Like, she's the one. Like, yep, karma's a dish best served cold. She's the one that ignored the deadline. She's the one that didn't put her cash down. You're kind of an idiot if someone puts forward like okay, by this date, you have to give me the money for the flight, otherwise you're not getting a ticket. And then you don't do that, and then you turn around right before the flight and go, oh yeah, where's my ticket? If you didn't put the money down, genius, you're not going to have a ticket. Like, that's how it works. It's a hard deadline, he was quite clear about it, and it wasn't even like a hard deadline just for deadline's sake, it was because if he didn't get the tickets before that point, he wouldn't be able to get the discount. So if she wants to go on the trip that bad, she should have put down the money. And it shows she's got a terrible history of it if it's gotten to the point her husband refuses to cover for her. Because she's got a habit of not paying him back. Yeah, no, I don't blame him for not covering her. And honestly, yeah, get fucked, learn your lesson. Like, dude, no. Oh yeah, higher. Oh yeah, I would not be surprised at all if she was trying to pull this so someone else would pay for her. And they didn't because everyone's sick of it. I hope the son goes on the trip though, because that would be kind of funny. Yeah. 100%, like, yeah, no. Some people, they're adults by technicality only. Alright. Would I be the arsehole for not allowing my wife to pay respect to me on our wedding day? I, 34 male, am Asian and grew up in Asia until 14 when I went to school in the US. I've been studying/working here since, while most of my family still lives where I come from. I'm currently engaged to Anna, 29F. She's a white American. My family's not against me marrying a foreigner, but insist we have our wedding back in my home country, traditional style. Anna's a mellow person and is very open-minded. She has a great respect for my culture and is willing to have our wedding as my family dictates. One of our traditions, ancient, not many modern couples do it now, is that on the wedding day of the bride, in front of all the guests, is supposed to pay respect to the groom by bowing down to his feet. It's to show that she's willing to obey her husband and treats him like a protector in her life. It puts the wife in a lower position than the husband. Anna sees this as part of my tradition and said she'd do it, but I refuse to let her. I think it's deeply disrespectful to the bride. Anna doesn't understand the full implications of the act. And now my family's mad at me. They said Anna is fine, so I should just get with the program. Would I be the asshole? Oh, this is tricky. But like in the opposite way that the other ones are tricky. Like, I fully agree with him, but the worst part is like, if she wants to do it, there's nothing he could do about it. But like, I agree with him completely, you know? Like, this is tricky. This is tricky. Ah. I think with this one, like, he should definitely, like, really explain exactly what the paying respect means to her. Like, lay it out, like, in the most harshest way possible. And if she still wants to do it, or is still okay with doing it, he might just have to let her. Because the fact is she's okay with it, yeah. So it's like, I think he needs to really explain to her exactly what it means. Hi, how are you? Welcome. Yeah, he needs to explain exactly what this act means. No sugarcoat, no talking around it. Just straight up go like, look, this is essentially means that I'm in charge of you. Like, you paying respect is essentially saying that you will serve me as my wife. It's you
Hello
are
there.
the
Hello
lower
there.
position. Like, that's what this means. Hi, how you doing? Like, he needs to do his best to really, like, put that forward. And if she still wants to go ahead with it, there's nothing he can do. I think if she still wants to go ahead with it, after he's tried everything he can to dissuade her, he'd have to let her. He'd have to let her. At that point, he'd have to let her. It's a really tricky one. But, like, in the opposite way, these are usually tricky. Like, usually these are tricky because, like, everyone, like, sucks. But, like, or, like, one person's being stubborn, but in a way that makes sense. But in this one, it's, like, the opposite. It's, like, the one who wants to stop the other one from doing the act is the one who's kind of got their heart in the right place. Because they don't want to disrespect, you know, the woman that... He doesn't want to disrespect the woman he loves. But she's willing to do it. Ah, this is a hard one. Of course. Oh, you know you're always welcome here. Always. Get nice and comfy, get your blankie, and hope you feel nice and wrapped and comfy. Hi, Xana, how you doing? I hope you're doing wonderfully. I'm gonna say not the arsehole. Oh. Because no, the question is, would I be the arsehole for not allowing my wife to pay respect on the wedding day? I'm gonna say no arseholes here, I think, for this one. Because it's like, if she wants to do it and knows everything about it, there's nothing he can really do. But he's also not being an arsehole going, please don't degrade yourself for my boomer family. Yeah, I'm gonna say no one sucks. I think no one sucks. I think this is a no one sucks. Like, both of their hearts are in the right place, 100%. Ah. Yeah, I want to say, yeah, no one sucks here. No one sucks here. Because, like, she's not being an arsehole, but being like, oh no, your family's fine with it, I'm fine with it. From her perspective, she's just being culturally respectful. Oh, that was a hard one. That was a hard one. Oh, you're a darling, you may. I appreciate you. Thank you. I will happily help you get comfy anytime you like. Welcome back, dear Ari. Yep. Yes, you best be taking care of yourself, dear Asana. But know that you're always going to be welcome here regardless. To escape reality. Or, you know, get loitered. Both work. By the way, Xana, do you want to see a wonderful work of art that Ghosty made for me? It's something that I love so much. Would you like to see? It's very, very, very pretty. Very aesthetic. Alright. Ghosty's put a lot of effort into this. And spent a lot of time. And as such, deserves to have their work respected. Are you looking tasty tonight, my boy? My job here is really slab. Sound effects really bring it to life, you know? Dramatic tear. Happiness. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you. He slapped. You can't escape the sound. See? Welcome back, Ari. With love. Anyway. Am I the arsehole for not meeting up with my mum after she missed my wedding? Ooh, my favourite D&D class and race combo is I love the Air Genasi with the revised Ranger. Specifically the Beast one, because I like having pets. What about you guys? Rogue Elf? Ooh. I legit, I'll be like, look at what I got there. Hey, I made them emotes on the Discord too. It makes me so happy. Just feel heartwarmed because my slurps were full of love and affection. Oh my god, you've got to play it sometime, Mothy. It's really fun. Absolutely brilliant game it is. Rogue Elf and a Dragonborn Warlock. Ooh. Oh, come now. Ah, don't you want me to slappy all up on your screen there higher? Don't you want me to go a little Look, I'm trying to be like one of those those sexy VTubers. The ones who are like, ara ara. Isn't that how you're supposed to do it? See, I'm a very VTuber. Can't you tell that I have got that riz? I know what a penis is. Anyway, my mum remarried when I was a kid and had another kid, Jack, who is currently 15, and I'm 23. Anyway, I got married a month ago, and it was nice, but my mum's family did not attend. I was devastated, but my dad's side and everyone else made up for it. When my mum finally contacted me the night after, she told me that Jack had gotten into an accident a couple of nights before. He was with an older friend who crashed the car. He's physically fine, but was pretty spooked and refused to get into the car, but they couldn't leave him alone because they were worried. Mum said that she was going to come by herself or with my step-siblings, but then there was an issue with the car which was caused by Jack freaking out when they were first getting ready to leave. She then said she was going to call an Uber to get to the wedding, but Jack had passed out from the stress, so she couldn't leave because she was terrified something happened to him. I understand. But if I'm being honest, I don't know if I believe my mum 100%. She sounded pretty apologetic, but I'm still upset that no one let me know. Apart from my mum, Jack, and my stepdad, who might have been way too preoccupied, my step-siblings are all over 16 years old, with phones of their own. Couldn't they have told me? My mum asked if we could meet, and I honestly didn't want to see her in that moment. Though her absence was valid, she's never at any of the big events because of Jack. It might be pure coincidence, but I just didn't want to see her. I was and still am upset. My mum was annoyed by this and told me the world doesn't revolve around me and I have no right to be upset over her not being there now that I know why. I told her that I don't care. I don't want to see her. In fact, I'm very angry at her. She told me I'm just being selfish and that she won't be contacting me anymore until I apologize because she can't handle my childish tantrums on top of everything else. I don't know. I think I should have just said okay and met up with her, but I'm hurt. She still hasn't talked to me though, and she usually doesn't go through with her threats. Am I the asshole? No. Like, first up, no. Like, no, absolutely not the asshole. 1000% not the asshole. And like, it sounds like she called up and just made a whole lot of excuses. Like, it sounds like, yeah, like, even if she sounded apologetic, if she didn't directly apologize, she hasn't apologized. But the big thing that really sticks out to me is essentially like, no, OP does have the right to be upset. Regardless of your reasoning, you did not phone in advance and tell them you weren't coming. You didn't explain it in advance and tell them you weren't coming. You just didn't show up. Regardless of your reason for not coming, that is a different issue entirely. And also, even if it's a perfectly valid reason, even if it's the most valid reason on the planet, missing a huge thing like a wedding, she would still have the right to be upset. Just because you explain yourself doesn't mean you've negated the other party's right to be upset. At best, you've just retained your right to explain yourself. That's it. Because just as we all have the right to explain ourselves, we all have the rights to not accept an apology and to still be upset because emotions don't give a shit about what the facts are. And it's like, at the end of the day as well, he's physically fine. He's just spooked. Alright, he doesn't have to come. But honestly, if he really was fainting or causing issues with everything to do with the car, to the point that she tried to get an Uber and the kid apparently passed out from the stress, if that is true, it is much more likely that that kid didn't want her to go to the wedding. Because if you're in a love tap in a car, it'll spook you, that is true. But if you are physically fine getting out of the car, that means the car crash wasn't that bad. Because a serious car crash will leave you in the fucking hospital. But if you are physically fine, the car crash wasn't that bad. Not so bad that just seeing a car would cause a panic attack. Getting in one, fully understandable. Being actively near one, fully understandable. But conveniently passing out the second your mum goes to get into an Uber alone? That sounds more like dramatics. That sounds like convenient timing. And I don't doubt that the kid's spooked. Of course not. Of course not. Absolutely not overriding this kid's experiences. But either that kid is got an ulterior motivation of their own, very, very much a hypochondriac, or the mum's lying. And I think the mum is lying, honestly. I'd say the first half of the story, probably true. But as a professional peanut gallery purveyor, I think the bit about the Uber is bullshit. The bit about the Uber sounds like complete bullshit. Oh, so I was going to call an Uber, but then Jack just like passed out from the stress of it all. That sounds like bullshit. Because it doesn't make sense. Because either this kid is the most fragile kid on the planet, which is not true if he was driving around alone with an older friend in a car crash in the first place. Clearly he's got a life of his own. He's not fragile to the point that wind blows and he spooks. Or she's lying. And it's far more likely she's just lying to cover her own ass. Especially with how quick she got defensive as well. But regardless of your reasoning, no matter how legit, no matter illegit, you can't negate someone else still being pissed. You didn't show up and you didn't give warning to the fact you weren't going to show up at your kid's wedding, and then tried to put it on them that you didn't show up. You could have gotten a babysitter. You could have had one person stay home and the other go to the wedding. You could have done a lot of things, but conveniently, oops, nothing worked. My bad, so sad. No, she just didn't want to go. And sure, OP is being selfish, but this is one of those situations where you need to be selfish. Because ultimately, it is just as toxic, well, not just as toxic, but it is toxic to be 100% selfless as well. Because there are times where you need to be selfish for your own self-preservation and safety. Sometimes being selfish is literally the difference between life and death. And that's dramatics, but basically what it comes down to is it's not selfish for her to put her feelings above her mum's feelings in this situation, because ultimately the one who experienced the betrayal was her and not the mum. The mum's just playing victim. It is a wedding. This isn't a random Saturday dinner. This is a wedding. These are extremely expensive affairs. And they're also very major milestones in one's life as well. And I'll be honest, I'm a pretty chill person. But if I ever got married to someone, and just go with the narrative of this story, and my mum and sister, because like they live in the same area, so I'll just group them together to have a similar group. And my mum and sister didn't come to the wedding, even though they said they would, and they gave me absolutely no notice, so they just didn't show up. And the first time I hear from them is a couple of days later, and it's all just excuses. I'd be pissed. I would be pissed. And like, even if they did that, I would be like, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't want to see you right now. Like, regardless of everything else, you still failed to tell me. So it just seems like you're making excuses at this point. Yeah. So, yeah. Like, well within her right to go, no, fuck off. Absolutely 1000% not the asshole. In fact, that mum has been pretty fucking manipulative in my opinion, so it's probably a good thing she didn't show up to the wedding in the first place. Thank you for the follow, dearest Navia. I appreciate it. Thank you. And welcome. Thank you for the save. I appreciate it, darling. Oh, of course. No need to apologize, Ari. Take all the time you need. Hi, Code. How are you? How you doing? We're sipping tea and having the hot goss tonight. Leshat, no, hi, Raiders, welcome. Oh my god, how are you guys? We are reading Saucy r/AmItheAsshole post tonight and sipping that sweet, hot and juicy tea. How are you guys? How was your stream? I hope you had a brilliant time. What were you up to, if you don't mind me asking? Though, by the way, if you are like absolutely like exhausted and you just need naps, if you just like, bitch need naps, totally fair. Go get you some naps. Like, fully understandable. Wind down, get comfy, get some naps. And if you want to sip some tea and join us raging at random people on the internet, this is the place to be. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, Code. Hell yeah, let's go. I'm going well. Thank you for asking. I appreciate it. Hi, Plunksy. How are you? Hi, Shibi. Yes, go get yourself some nibbles. Hell yes. Well, in that case, let us begin with the next dramatic tale. Am I the asshole for leaving the restaurant even though my daughter-in-law hadn't finished eating? Oh, this sounds petty. Thank you for the follow, Lishat. No, I really appreciate it. Thank you. I, 58 female, invited everyone in my family out for dinner at a nice restaurant for my husband's 60th birthday. I told everyone about the event a month ago. The guest list also included my daughter, Sarah, 24, and her wife, Elizabeth, 28 female. Elizabeth works in a demanding, stressful, but well-compensated corporate position. She does have a tendency of overworking herself, however. Thank you for the follow, Plonksy Conksy. I appreciate it. Thank you. Unsurprisingly, she was late to the dinner. Sarah said Beth had cleared her schedule for the day, but there was a last-minute issue and she had to leave for work. Elizabeth made it while everyone else was starting dessert. She apologized, gave us a fancy bottle of wine as a gift, and sat down. We were all done and ready to go, but Elizabeth hadn't fully eaten yet. It was getting late, so as people started leaving, my husband and I also decided to leave, as it was getting late. We didn't wait for Elizabeth to finish her dinner. Thank you for the follow, Shibi Inu. I appreciate it. Thank you. The next day, I got a call from Sarah saying it was not okay for us to just leave them by themselves like that. I explained and said that it was getting late, but she insists that we should have stayed. I may be an arsehole here when I said maybe she needs to take off her rose-colored glasses about Elizabeth, but she got upset and hung up the phone. Was I an asshole? I mean, you were petty, that's for sure. I'd say not the asshole. Honestly, like, regardless of reason, she showed up right at the end of the dinner. At that point, either A, she should have just gotten a dessert and just kind of accepted she'd missed the dinner and just gotten a dessert to end at the same time as everyone else, or she and her partner, she and her wife, my bad. She and her wife should have just been fine with staying later than everyone else. Like, if you are going to start your dinner at the time everyone's finishing their dinner, is it really a fucking shock that they left before you? Like, it's one of those things that, like, at the end of the dinner, and it's like the key thing is like, this was an event for OP's husband's 60th birthday. Boomers need naps. Since it was a 60th birthday, it's very likely there were many boomers at that table. Boomers need naps. It was probably like 10 p.m. That's like an hour after boomer bedtime. My nana goes to bed at like 7:30. Like, I shit you not, boomers like their early bedtimes. It was likely, like, at boomer nap time. So, of course, they left. Yeah, exactly. The event was for the husband, and it was at the tail end. And it was one person who showed up late, and really late, too. It wasn't like she just showed up during the entree or anything. She showed up during dessert. She showed up at the end. And ultimately, it's understandable why she was late. Ultimately, it is not fair to be pissed at everyone else, including OP, for leaving while she was eating, because at the end of the day, I mean, for one, it's for their health, and for another, it's not their responsibility to wait an extra hour so that someone who was late can slowly eat their food. The table wasn't cancelled when they left. They were just left alone at the table. It was one of those things where, like, people would be well within their right to stay and hang out with them if they really wanted to. But if they needed to go, they needed to go. Like, I'll be honest, if I was at a dinner that started at like 7, by about 9, I'd be ready to go. Like, there's 2 hours of dinner. But if some chuckle fuck showed up at 8:45 and expected me to stay for another hour while they slowly ate their steak, nah. I'm leaving at 9. Like, I'd be like, oh, it's lovely to see you. I mean, we've got to head off, but like, have a lovely night. Like, yeah. Come on time. Or just accept the consequences of being late, at the very least. The very least, because ultimately it is not anyone else's fault she was late. And If she wanted to have a whole dinner, then she should have just was willing to bite the bullet. And it's a bit silly that the daughter was really pissed about it because, I mean, it's understandable, of course, pissed on behalf of the partner, but ultimately it's still silly in that kind of it's a make your own bed and lie in it kind of scenario. All good, Addy, all good. Oh, that's adorable. Give your doggo some love. Have fun lurking, Mothy. I know, right, Haya? Like, shocking, am I right? Oh, got you. Alright, you have fun at work. Get that bag, darling. Get that bag. Oh, you're all good, Ghosty. Feel free to tell your grandma that I truly appreciate the gesture, and I'm pale because I'm ginger. It's incurable. But her heart is in the right place, and I really appreciate it. But unfortunately, the ginger is a chronic condition, and citrus isn't gonna save me, because it all goes into my hair. You don't need to send me oranges, my hair's already red. Oh my god, I appreciate that. It's very sweet, very sweet. Thank you for the hydrate. The ginger's something you can't fix. We don't tan, we burn. Tear down face. We only burn. If you put us in a suntan bed, we would die. Oh, your grandma is so sweet. Oh my god. And it's like I'm not that small. I'm not that small. I'm like about 70-ish kilos around that area. I don't bother checking very often, but I'm around that spot. So yeah, that's weighty. I've got some meat to me. That surely means I've got some meat to me. I'm not like completely gonna blow away in the wind if it's not that strong. I have no idea what 70 kilos is in pounds, honestly, but like, yeah. Do you ever feel like a plastic bag? I can guarantee you, like, 10 of those kilos is in my butt. Look, I've got a butt, and it is annoying. Anyway, 154. I'm a confirmed twink. Oh my god. Honestly, I used to be about like 62 or 63 kilos, and then like I stopped having to walk half an hour every day. No, sorry, an hour every day. So like I've like put on like a couple of biscuits. But don't worry, I'm being good. I'm being good now. I'm being goodish. I'm being goodish now. Oh my god. The older version of a twink. A crink. The older version of a twink is a crink because that's the sound your knees make when you stand up. Crink. Oh my god. Dear. Soup. Oh. Crinkle fries. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for telling my stepdad that my body isn't his? Hi, I, 17 female, recently got a tattoo. It's a small heart plus semicolon on my arm, and that's not really visible unless you really try and look for it. First, I did talk to my mum about it, and since she does know the tattoo meaning, she's getting a similar one, kind of like matching tattoos, and I paid for it myself. Well, the problem is whenever my stepdad can, he brings up how he doesn't approve of it, and how I should get removed because I didn't talk that out. He said I already have a piercing on my bottom lip and a tattoo is too much. I told him it's my choice, and if my mum agrees, he shouldn't say shit. Well, now my mum said I'm the arse and thinks I should apologise, but I don't see where I'm wrong. I am very relieved it's just about a tattoo. Not the asshole. Next! Oh, that could have gone a horrible direction. It's just a tattoo. It's okay. Not the asshole. Next! This feels like, you know, when you dodge a bullet. Am I the arsehole for telling my brother that he can't have it both ways? I, female 33, am a stay-at-home mum with my 3-year-old son while my husband works full-time. This story involves my brother, male 31. He's also a parent and lives with his wife and 2 kids, female 7 and male 3. My brother and his wife both work during the day, and their youngest goes to daycare 3 days a week. The rest of the week, they usually relied on my mum for childcare. However, she's recently started refusing and said they need to find other arrangements. This caused a pretty big rift in their relationship, to the point where my brother wasn't speaking to our mum and my sister-in-law refused to spend Christmas with her. They're on better terms now, but it was quite tense. My brother has asked if I can take his nephew for the 2 days a week. I agreed. It is a bit of extra work for me, but he is a good kid, and my son looks forward to seeing his cousin. We had this arrangement going since right after the holidays. Last week, I asked my brother if he and his wife could take care of my son on the Saturday, as my husband and I were attending a child-free wedding. Originally, my mother-in-law had volunteered to babysit, but unfortunately she had to cancel as she was sick. My mother agreed the next day. He sent me a long text message saying that he and his wife agreed that I put them on the spot and made them feel like they had to babysit, they aren't obliged to watch my son just because we're family, and that they might have other things to do. I was quite annoyed at this, since I've been watching their child without complaint. I admit it was the last minute request, but I think my brother's being crazy unreasonable. I texted him back and said he can't have it both ways, expecting me to help him out with childcare because we're family, but I can't expect the same from him, and that if that's the way he wants it, then I'm not watching his son anymore. My brother says I'm being child, and that he didn't say he won't watch my son, just said I shouldn't expect him to always say yes since he and his wife are very busy, and it's not like us attending the wedding was urgent. He's now not speaking to me. My mum told me not just to not play his game, but I just need some outside opinions here. Am I the asshole? No! No! He's a piece of shit. He is an absolute piece of shit. First, he cuts off the mum because she's not willing to serve him childcare anymore. And then he cuts off the poster because she's not willing to serve him childcare anymore, while not being willing to repay the favour to anyone. Fuck you. Hard not the arsehole. Hard not the arsehole. Ah, just... Oh my god. Yeah, hard not the arsehole. Easy, done. Hands off. Alright. Whew. This is a spicy title. Am I the arsehole for rejecting my neighbor's sleepover request with their autistic son? I, 18 female, have an autistic neighbor, 18 male, who's also my classmate at school. We got acquainted when my family moved into the neighborhood, and after knowing that I was studying with him, his parents wanted me to help out with classwork, so I've known them for almost 3 years. A couple of months ago, I learned that he has a crush on me. The bashful behavior and the letters I accidentally read gave it away. Initially, it was awkward for me, but I got over it soon, as he didn't tell me anything about his feelings. Unfortunately, his bashful interactions made our batchmates assume that he might like me, which further spiraled into a rumor, and a teacher who is far too invested in high school rumors kept pairing me up with him. It was embarrassing for me, and I couldn't even say anything because he didn't confess to anything. It was just an outside assumption and rumor. Days ago, his parents were going out of town and wanted me to sleep over at his place. It wasn't a surprising request because my family had hosted him for dinner whenever they're not at home, and I've been to theirs. The sleepover was, however, new. Perhaps in the past I might have agreed to it. It was just a night in their guest room, and my parents were next door. But with the awkward situation at school, I told them no. My parents still offered him dinner, or that he could spend the night at ours, but they didn't accept it. My mum kept asking me why I didn't want to stay over, and I told him that he's a boy, so I wasn't comfortable. But she wasn't satisfied with the answer. I trusted her enough and told her what was happening at school. She got pissed at me and accused me of being disgusted by her son's feelings because he's autistic, and to double it down, assumed that an autistic person would do something horrible to me if I stayed alone with them. Needless to say, it was a horrible day for all of us. Our parents haven't spoken to each other ever since. I wouldn't call his parents horrible people for the way they reacted. Given that their son doesn't behave like our age group and the whole autistic stigma, he might have been ostracized and bullied in the past, for all I know. But the thought of it does make me feel like an asshole. So am I the asshole for rejecting their sleepover request because of the rumors and people actively pairing us even though I might have accepted their request in the past? No. Hello, Watcher, how are you? Welcome, welcome. I mean, if you're asking Big Ed, then yes. Hard not the arsehole. Ultimately, the mum should have just accepted the answer that she was uncomfortable because he was a boy. They're both 18, and like, autism doesn't automatically mean you are exempt from just being a boy. Like, thank you for the hydrate. And the things as well is, he doesn't have to do anything like he doesn't have to like do anything actually inappropriate, but it's that case of like, she doesn't reciprocate just because she doesn't reciprocate. That's all it is. And if everyone around them's been actively encouraging it, in a case where it is unrequited, it tends to be very uncomfortable for the one who doesn't return it. And if everyone else around them is going, this is happening, this is real, this is definitely happening, anyone, regardless of who you are, anyone is susceptible into falling into the belief that everyone is right. And so it's something like a private sleepover. Most people would take that as an opportunity to make a move, especially if you think you've got a chance. She was well within her right to reject the sleepover for that reason. And ultimately, it's very immature of his parents to react the way they did, because ultimately, the ones who were belittling their son and dismissing his capability were them. Because they were helicopter parenting them. Like, that's helicopter parenting. And bye-bye. Have a lovely rest of your time, dear Haya. Yeah. And it's like, maybe they knew he had a crush and was trying to help. And ultimately, some people seem to forget that, like, romance, like, for a pairing to work, for two people to get together, they have to like each other. Like, it can't just be one liking the other. That's like a crush at best and a stalker at worst. But if she doesn't like him, there's nothing they can do. There's nothing anyone you can do. And it's like, it's not that like the second she found out he likes her, she completely cut contact. She didn't. She's just not comfortable sleeping, like having a sleepover with him. Yeah, fuck that teacher for one. That's very immature. Get your nose out of it. It's very childish. But I suppose if you peak in high school, it's not a surprise you go back. I'm sorry. No, teachers are absolutely amazing and they deserve all the respect in the world. But this particular one was being very immature. Oh my god. But yeah, not the arsehole. People kept forcing it on them. And ultimately, she's well within her right to reject a sleepover. In fact, it is incredibly entitled to get offended that someone does not want to have a sleepover. It sounds like you were trying to force something. Exactly, Crocs. Yeah. And yeah, it's really weird that they were trying to force her into this situation and acting and immediately going full defensive on it. I'm not surprised that parents aren't speaking anymore, because it's likely her parents have gone, oh my god, these people are insane, I don't want to talk to them. But yeah, like, absolutely not the arsehole. Like, ultimately, regardless of stigma, physical or psychiatric conditions, it's not really appropriate, so to speak, for an 18-year-old girl to sleep over alone in the same house as an 18-year-old boy, especially if it's known that the boy likes the girl, but the girl doesn't like him back. Like, most parents wouldn't be okay with that, actually, because teenagers are just unreliable. They're fucking teenagers. That's why you gotta keep an eye on them. They suck. Yeah, Ghosty, yeah. And it's like, yeah, you keep enabling it and it becomes stalker syndrome. And it's both terrifying and really sad, too. Oh god, I do hope you're okay. And by the way, Ghosty, if you need me to kneecap any motherfuckers, you got me in your corner. I am tiny, but I've got good reach, and I can get all the worst best bits if you catch my drift. I'll fight dirty if I have to. When you're down, when you've been pushed down by gravity, you'll become tiny and vicious like an angry fucking chihuahua. I will bite some ankles for you. Oh yeah, everyone here, I believe everyone here will all join together to beat a motherfucker up. Affectionately, of course. Alright, do we need to join together and perform and yeah. Ghosty Protection Squad? We gotta block this bitch. Alright, who knows IT? Let's find this bitch's details and like just turn him off the internet. Just no more internet. That's all's required. Send him a package full of grass. No, that's creepy. Don't actually do that. That's creepy. This is all hypothetical. But you know, if we ever find out who this motherfucker is, well, let's just say he won't be having children after he meets me. Mwah. Oh, I will if I have to. Some people don't deserve the right. But yes, if you ever need protect, we got you. We got you. You can sick us on him like an army of like confused but angry dogs. I know the feeling though. I've had that in the past. It's terribly scary. Am I the asshole for not going to my brother's child-free wedding because my son wasn't invited? And his cousins were. Recently, my family was invited to my brother's wedding. Me, my husband, our daughter, and our son. Everyone, except for our youngest son, because it's a child-free wedding. He was 16. I called my brother to confirm that my son wasn't invited because I have been to a child-free wedding before that are 13 or 16 plus, and my son won't behave badly or need such close supervision as a younger child would. My brother was very apologetic and said that he can't make exceptions to his rule, and some of his friends have much younger kids and he doesn't want to look like he's showing favoritism for allowing my 16-year-old to come. That was fine by me. I understand child-free weddings. I had a child-free wedding prior to having kids. My brother has 2 children of his own from a previous marriage, 16 and 17, and 2 of my sister's kids are also under 18, 13 and 15, and I assumed none of them would be invited either. The wedding's in a different country, and my family would be flying out for the weekend. My 16-year-old's a bit sad about not being invited, because him and my brother are close. I also don't want to leave him home alone for the weekend, so I made a plan that on the night of the wedding, him and his cousins could hang out in the hotel, use the pool, get room service, and make a night of it, and then the next day we could explore the city as a family, so my son doesn't feel sad about being left out. When I told my brother the plan, he thought it was a great idea, but when I told my sister, she was surprised and said her kids have been invited, and she didn't know it was child-free, 18 plus. She checked with my brother, who told her it was 13 plus, so my niece was invited. So we both called my brother, who admitted that my son is the only under 18 in the immediate family who'd not been invited, though he wouldn't say why despite me pushing him. My sister and I both decided not to attend the wedding, as we are both pissed off at him, and she loves my 16-year-old. My mother is calling us up, saying we are being childish and letting my brother down. My brother's soon-to-be wife is also furious at us and says that my brother is distraught and that my son was excluded for a good reason, once again not saying the reason. My brother-in-law's sister's husband is also upset and blaming me for my sister not going, and I am starting to feel bad and just wish I'd let sleeping dogs lie. But am I the asshole? A few people have asked, and I just want to mention that we're a Christian family. My brother's soon-to-be wife being much more religious than the rest of us, though we all still go to church. Except my son, who stopped being Christian a few years ago. I don't mind personally, as it's called, but it has caused some discontentment. Not saying that this is the reason at all, just if I were guessing. Not the asshole. Fuck these guys. Like, Jesus. Like, Like, no. That is just exclusion. No. Are you really fucking surprised that no one showed up at your wedding because you excluded someone precious to them? Of course they're not going to show up. It's because you're a piece of shit. A lying piece of shit. True. 2. Because he straight up lied to her multiple times. Multiple times. Oh, no. This... It's a child-free wedding. It's a child-free wedding. No kids are being invited. It's all good. It's all great. And it wasn't until she asked other people and they were like, what are you talking about? That she collected the dots. He's being a piece of shit. Fuck him. Don't show up to the wedding. Go have fun in the hotel. Yeah. And it's like, I completely understand why child-free weddings exist. You've just got to stick to them. Because it's like, if you think about it, Code, there's 2 sides to it. On one side, a wedding with kids and everything is a wedding about family. It's about uniting everyone, young and old, having fun with the family, having a great time, brilliant, amazing family woohoo. A child-free wedding lets everyone get drunk off their face at the reception. I mean... I'll be honest, if I got married, I'd be tempted to have a child-free wedding, like... Yeah, and you're well within your right. If you don't want kids at your wedding, because keep in mind as well, like, the younger the kids are, the more likely they are to trash things, to cause a major, to disrupt the ceremony, disrupt everything. More likely they are to cause major damages. More likely you are to have screaming children and babies at the wedding, and all of these things. Like, yeah, but sometimes if, say, the parent is your sister, you can't get out of inviting them. Because ultimately, every shitty parent is related to someone. Have a wonderful rest, dear Zane. Thank you for joining me tonight. Mwah. So it's like, child-free weddings are a good way to avoid just any kids. But the thing is, you've got to make them a blanket. So it's kind of like either have this is a 13 plus wedding. If you're under 13, nah. Of course, have a wonderful day, Nin, and thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it, darling. Have fun doing what you're doing. Kids, get out of the kid corner. Trust me, Code. You have a lot of faith in children. You have a lot of faith in children, or not enough faith in children. Yeah, like, yeah, I guess it's perspective, really. Like, everyone has dream weddings and dream ideas. It's like, honestly, I would probably have, if I ever got married, I'd probably make it maybe like a 13 plus. I'd probably at least put a 13 plus on it. Kind of a, yeah, I don't care if kids come, but I don't want toddlers and babies running around. Like, I don't want a baby crying in the middle of the ceremony. I don't want toddlers to be breaking everything that costs tens of thousands of dollars because weddings are obnoxiously expensive. Like, yeah. So it's like, that would be a case, so I'd probably just be like, you know, here's a daycare, drop them off here if you need to. But like, that's what I would do. Have an age, like a minimum age kind of deal. Just because, yeah, like, you just need one little shit and your wedding is ruined. And if you've got like 10, 20, 30, $40,000 on the line, that's a really expensive fuck up. And the worst thing as well is, say like the kid breaks a camera or breaks something that belongs to the venue or something you've rented. Then in that case, you've got an extra bill on top of it. And with little shits like that, almost all the time the parents are never willing to cover it. Because there's a reason the kid is a little shit. Like, the little shit doesn't come from anywhere. Like, there's a reason the kid is a little shit. It's because the parents are, like, letting them get away with murder. And those types of parents almost are never willing to cover their messes. So it's like, in that case, I think I know personally, I would want to just go limits. Like, nope, like 13 plus. Like, after 13, they're usually mature enough to, like, at least kind of handle themselves at a wedding. Maybe make an exception for, like, a mature 12-year-old. But, like, under that, no, I don't want little kids running around. At best, I'd probably just, like, organize with, like, a daycare or maybe even, like, get a babysitter or something if it was really necessary. But, yeah. But at the same time, like, I'm pretty neutral on the whole wedding thing. I love the idea in theory. But also, they are obnoxiously expensive. So it's one of those things that if my life ever takes me to a point where I am engaged, we'll see what I feel like then. But right now, I'm a bachelor living with 2 cats who VTubes. Yeah, it's not on the agenda. It's like, I don't think that's happening anytime soon, so I'm not putting too much stock in it. But yeah, some people are just comfortable around. And also keep in mind as well, there are a lot of people who hate kids. There are a lot of people who, honest to God, just cannot stand kids as a concept. So they definitely would have child-free weddings. Otherwise, they'd have an horrible wedding. So it's all just personal preference. So yeah, I'd say with this one, not the arsehole. Definitely not the arsehole. Alrighty. Stop all the children into the bouncy balloon castle. Oh, there we go. I think it would be safe to say that Nova would definitely have a child-free wedding. Case in point. Oh my god, yeah, straight up. I tolerate 1 child. Oh my god. And also, I know, like, there are some people who will have, like, children at the wedding, but child-free reception. Some will have it the other way around. Personal preference, really. Alright. This next story, I think will be my last one for the night, because it's about 11:30, and I'm gonna start learning to go offline before midnight, because I think that's a large reason why I've been having so many sleep issues lately. I keep streaming until 2 a.m. on work days. Yeah, yeah. This will be my last story. Child free hunt. If you're bringing kids on your honeymoon, you don't know what a honeymoon is. That's just a family vacation. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Alrighty. Am I the asshole for telling my super rich friend she's unbearable to hang out with? I mean, it's really self-explanatory, but I'll give you some details. My bestie since childhood, let's call her Jenny, has her finances secured. She, 35-year-old, built and made an exit from a business, making her insanely rich. She comes from a pretty humble background, and I can confidently say that she's earned it by working for it. I come from a pretty average background and have a pretty average job today, so does most of our friends. I don't miss anything, and I do have savings, can go on trips, etc. Her story is a fairy tale, and we're all super proud of her. But a couple of years ago, she was approached by an agency that pushed her to become a public motivational speaker and podcaster. Since then, she's become increasingly unbearable to be around, and eventually I came to a point where I needed to tell her. Since Jenny got rich, she's always been herself, just in a more fancy package, and I've loved her for that. You go, girl. She's always been super respectful about other people's finances, and when we meet up, she's always up for whatever the rest of us can afford with. Even on a bachelorette party, she made a deal about making sure to do things everyone could afford. When pursuing her journey as a motivational speaker and podcaster, I had to revisit everything I thought about her. All of her motivational tips were related to not wanting to be an average person, and that anyone can become just as rich as her if they weren't lazy. In one episode, she talks about making sure to surround oneself with successful people to avoid looking at average people as an acceptable norm. She even went as far as describing another friend's husband as her nightmare partner, as he lacks ambition. She didn't mention him by name, but other details made us able to identify him. Over time, this worsened, and eventually other friends stopped inviting her to things. Now the podcast took another turn, and she started to talk about how to handle when people turn their back at you for becoming successful, and how lonely it is at the top. I decided it was time to tell her I think she's losing grip of reality, and that if she continues with being so judgmental in her podcast, she'll end up just as lonely as she describes herself to be. Jenny got super pissed at me and told me she wouldn't expect this from her best friend, and claims I've just been jealous and felt inferior to her my whole life, which is absolutely not true. She tells me the whole podcast thing is just her playing a part, and that she exaggerates her opinions for reach. She thinks I am the one who has convinced all the others to leave her side, and wants me to apologize before ever speaking to me again. Help me here. Am I the asshole? Should I apologize? Not the asshole. Because, like, things pointed out in cases, for example, someone she was describing as a nightmare partner in her podcast was able to be identified as one of her friend's partners. And ultimately, if she was just playing a role, she would have told her friends first. She didn't dox them, but it's more like the friend figured out just through some clear hints, oh, that was definitely them. It was one of those things. The whole, like, not doxed, but, nope, that's Darren, to throw out a random name kind of thing. Yeah, like, if prior or early on in her podcasting career, she kind of, like, turned to her friends, like, as a heads up, with this podcasting, I've heard it's just really good to just, like, go full nouveau rich. So, like, I'm just gonna play that role in my podcast, but, like, please don't take offense. I'm just doing this for views. Like, your friends would be like, oh, that's kind of scummy, man, but, you know, live your best life. They'd at least be aware, and they'd be like, oh, like, your podcast is shit. We don't support it, per se, but, like, I mean, you're up front. You're just being shit in public, I suppose. Not amazing, but, could be worse. But, like, she's not. She's just becoming like this in real life. And then, yeah, exactly, Xana. Hi, Ragnar, how you doing? Rest well, sweet Nova, sweet dreams. And yeah. And of course, like, when she's finally confronted as well, which is a huge kicker on this one, when that poster, her best friend, confronts her and goes, hey, like, if you keep being this judgmental, like, this is the reason you're losing people, like, you are really insulting people. If you keep being so judgmental in your podcast, you'll end up just as lonely as you describe yourself to be. Like, please stop. And she got pissed and immediately assumed her friend was jealous. If someone comes up to you and goes, dude, I think you've been a bit of an asshole lately. Look, I'm just putting this out there. The things you've been saying, people aren't comfortable with. Like, you're really insulting people. I don't know if you mean to or not, but you are, and you need to cut it out. Otherwise, things are just going to get worse. If the response to that is, oh, you're just jealous and you would feel inferior to me. You have a fucking ego complex. Yeah, exactly. Like, no, that is egotistical as fuck. Like, and to immediately accuse the friend of being the one to cause everyone else to leave the sign as well is alienating her as well. And ultimately, I think 𝐄𝐍𝐕𝐓 hit it on the net, but I think she's corrupting herself. I think, like, as she's, you know, being in this, like, nouveau rich kind of environment, she's probably connecting with more and more nouveau rich people, becoming closer to other more right-wing hustle culture bros, and slowly she's mirroring their opinions, mirroring their behaviors, and basically how much you have in the bank doesn't matter. It's how you treat the people around you. And if you look at the average person like dirt, you're an asshole. Straight up, you're an asshole. All of the luxuries you have in your life is thanks to the average person. Who made you rich? The average person, because they were the one buying your shit. Who's cleaning your house? Who's cleaning your house? A maid who works for minimal or average wage. Who's making your food? People who work in restaurants. People, professional chefs, etc. Average people working average jobs. Who's running your company? Average people working average jobs. You would not be where you are if it weren't for all the average people who lifted you up there in the first place. And the people who go rags to riches route and then become these egotistical, snarky, look down on the average folk are horrible people. And they always end up alone. Always. Because who wants to be around that? Like, if the only person you can think about is yourself, eventually, yourself is the only person that's gonna be left. Because relationships are a two-way street. And if you can't respect your friends, why the fuck would they stick around or respect you? And yeah, hopefully, yeah, it's lonely at the top, but a lot of people at the top don't realize that they're not innocent in that track. It's lonely at the top, but part of it is because of decisions you've made. Yeah. It's like I've met some people who were quite well off, and yeah, some are perfectly nice folks. Some are very naive, and some are absolute cockwallets. Holy shit. There's a lot of cockwallets, honestly. But I've met quite a few who are just very naive as well. Like, they're just very naive. To like a point where you're just like, oh, That's terrible that you didn't get a Porsche for Christmas. Oh, that's so horrible. I'm sorry you only got a Tesla instead. Yep. That's a traumatic event. Mm-hmm. We have different problems. Let's put it that way. Oh, y'all can have cock wallet to your heart's content. Yep. Oh my god, Lasty. Perfect. Fuck up some motherfuckers. Yeah, like, gee, I wonder why. Because the thing is, the folks at the top who are genuinely good people, they aren't alone. That's the difference. Could be a wallet full of cocks, or could be a cock with a large wallet. Fucking cock wallet. What can I say, Down Under? We're creative. Oof. But yes, this story, absolutely not the arsehole. And kind of looks like a corruption arc, honestly. Like the penis festival. Oh, I want to go to the penis festival one day just to witness it in person. I love that it's a real thing. But you see, Code, it depends on what the wallet's used on. A cock with a large wallet that has a partner of whom basically that has a sugar baby, they're a sugar daddy. But a cock with a large wallet who only spends it on themselves, cock wallet. Oh no, Ragnar. Oh no, what happened? Give us the goss. I am absolutely wanting to hear this. Spill the tea. Oh, the PP Festival's fantastic. Just like after Ragnar's tea. See, go see fill my priorities. I'll sign off after I get the tea. Severed affection, of course. I'm just like, we're just saying like, It's like, oh my god, these hungry fucking chickens. Oh my god, Rita. That mental picture makes it even better. Oh my god. Look, oh my god, the peen going candy is fantastic. Yep. Oh, Ragnar, that last bit gave me psychic damage. Oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. I wish I was surprised. Oh, just, oh. Oh my god. Any dude bro who whinges about feminism going, oh, it's all the women's fault, is the reason feminism exists. I'll jump a dude. I'll stab him with me art pens. It's the last fuck I give. Just taps with a micro penis. It's all you deserve. God, I am so sorry that you had to suffer through that person, Ragnar. Oh, you poor bastard. It's okay, you're free now. You are free now. Oh my god. So it's like, yeah, I think like the... Let's see. Let's see. Oh, let's have a look at this person. Oh my god, Ragnar, that is amazing. That there is the perfect ending right there. Absolutely 10 out of 10 God tier. It's like you are an absolute pain in the ass. And so we're about to give you a pain in the front. Oh my god. But yes, with that story and the sweet tea, thank you for sharing. Now out of the way, it is nearly midnight and I will be good and get ready for bed. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me for my stream tonight. I've had an absolute fantastic time sipping tea and enjoying the hot goss with all of you guys tonight. It's been an absolute treat. Oh my god, Ragnar, that is hilarious. But yes, oh my god, I love doing these ITA streams. Honestly, they're way too fun. The goss is always good, man. But yes, so my next stream will be on Wednesday, 8 PM ADT, so in 2 days' time. And I will be playing Monster Prom, which I've never played before. But I've heard it's good, so I think that'll be fun. I need to start sticking one game a week in my streams because a bitch needs to learn to take breaks. It's my obligatory fun night. Hi console, it's lovely to see you. But yes, so that'll be my next stream. Now let me just pop into stream ending. I found this little raid. Alright, so we'll set this up first. Right, there we go, and make sure to spell it correctly. But yes, so for those, if you would like, stupid is always the way. Got you, Ragnar. Stupid is the way to my heart. I will himbo the fuck out of this game. Your advice accepted. But yes, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I've had an absolute banger of a time hanging out with each and every one of you amazing people. My stream schedule is available both on Twitter as my pinned post and in my Discord if you want to have a look and see what we're doing throughout the week. I will be around Discord. I will probably Lloyd you on occasion because it is funny. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for joining me. I adore all of you. You're all amazing. Mwah, 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 mwah. And may you all have an amazing evening, morning, noon, or night. The raid message is posted. Get it copy pasted. Or just like change angelic invasion into a dad joke. That is also acceptable. Hee hee. Night, guys. 5 minutes till midnight. I went to bed at a smart time. No, I'm gonna have a 2-hour shower. I didn't. Good night. Rating in 3,